flashbang goes off. He's tagged, finds the wall bang, trying to go for the 2K. He's able to pick it up. He's got one more play that he can do. Right up front of sight, and he's not all he's going.
Any other guys that have going to now? He's gonna have time. Is he gonna have time? Is he gonna do it? Oh my God! What is the name of the
Don't you think it's time to up your game? Get to the next level with G Fuel Energy. Item selection, zero sugar, antioxidants, vitamins, character creation. Wow, looking good. Gamer words, DLC, and speed. Side quest, look out, sweats. Build mode, lag, noob, squad up. G Fuel Energy. We made this commercial for you gamers.
After a little stream delay of about an hour, we're returning once more, and now for real with gameplay twist. Somewhat promised you guys, but I mean, we can promise to you now 99.999% that we'll actually have ourselves a lovely game coming up. One more to finish off the stream. My name is Jesse, or Dutchboy, whatever you want to call me. As I said before, next to me, Twist. And yeah, Twist, we have already done this thing before, but we're gonna do it called a pre-show one more time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, sure, you know, in the first stream, maybe things didn't go as planned, but either way, you know, I do believe that there are some new viewers, maybe who didn't watch the first one. So, you know, just for their sake, let's just quickly go the format of the Pro League. So, this is the third season of the Pro League, and the format has changed a little bit. You know, back in the day for first and second season, we had 8 teams. This time we have 6, and the thing that hasn't changed is that there's a group stage, a round robin stage, and then the playoffs. And as you mentioned, Jesse, in the previous stream, it's a best of 2. Now, this is pretty interesting, as again, you said, you know, in many games, there normally is a best of 3 or a best of 1, even if it is in the group stage. But we do have a best of 2, and honestly, I like that change. I think it just makes it more competitive, right? I think that just makes teams fight for each round and definitely each game even more. So yeah, we have the round robin stage. You know, their teams just play each other, and whichever 4 teams have the most points, well, they will advance to the playoffs. And obviously, you know, in the playoffs, you have best of 3 matches, and from there, you can get to the final, which is going to be best of 5. So a pretty self-explanatory format, really, you know, only 2 teams getting eliminated as opposed to the 4 that were earlier. So definitely, you know, a chance for some of these teams to make it to the finals, to the playoffs, you know, a bit easier. But that is about it about the format. Now, let's take a look at the schedule as well.
Yeah, and the playoffs is also a pretty cool thing, a feature about it. You guys saw it a little bit inside of the under part of the playoffs. There's actually an eliminator match, and there's actually a qualifier match. The qualifier match is for the first 2 teams. They will already be battling for a spot in the playoffs. So even the seeding in that round robin stage is mattering. When you get yourself in the top 2, you're just a little bit more confirmed. Whenever you're in the bottom 2, you're still making it into the playoffs, but you will have to go down a worse path where you have to win 3 games in a row. The round robin stage, of course, have already started. On 24th of September, we are going to be done. About 3 weeks for those group stage to conclude, and then of course 2 weeks of playoffs. Definitely dates to remember, because you don't want to miss them. Last season we obviously saw some great upsets, 2 new victors being crowned in both of the editions, right? Evil Vision and Merciless, of course, for the Americas that were battling it out once more, and now Invictus as well, joining Reign that was previously in the Pro League Season 1. So definitely great stuff. But I mean, not only you're going to be crowned the victors of the Pro League, not only you're going to be the world champion, or I guess your region champion, you will also be playing for these prize pools.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the prize pools are pretty nice. Again, there are two different ones for the group stage and also for the playoffs. So we do have some nice event cases, some nice premium cases, you know, if you do make it to the first, second, or third place. But I think what everyone is interested in and what all the teams are interested in are the playoff prizes, because that's really where all the goodies are at. $3,000 for first place, 1.5k for second, and obviously third and fourth place getting their fair share as well as that exclusive skin. Now, we will not reveal it just yet, but later on down the road, we'll definitely show you what the exclusive skin that really a handful of people get will look like. But I think everyone is going to fight for that skin, for those $1,000, and let's take a look at the teams that actually will do just that. So again, we have 6 instead of 8, and those 6 are, Jesse, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, we have Mullet Mafia, Rain, Invictus, and the side of Infamous, of course, the top 4 of last time inside of the Pro League. And then Team G9, of course, which was ex-Team Flames. Still a very good lineup of very good players in general, individually speaking. Maybe the team play, as Twist mentioned before, maybe a little bit on the lower side. So that will be something we'll have to take a look at. And of course, Violent GG, a new team, as well as Team G9 once more coming out of that intermediate season. And they will try to prove themselves right. And as we do know from the previous stream, or if you have looked at the mobile esports database, or just in general kept a look at that, Violent GG is currently on a big run, so they're potentially going to be a team to watch out for as well. But we're going to dive deep in this match, of course, because it's going to be important to take a look at what team you can potentially be voting on for the future, of course, but as well as what team is really going to be able to crown themselves, or what team you're going to be having to watch out for the entirety of this Pro League, because this match could be determining quite a lot. Invictus taking on Team G9.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup. I mean, the first matchup of the day, you know, we had Mullet Mafia against Infamous, and, you know, we kind of knew which one is going to win. Sure, the DQ happened, but still, we were like, yeah, even if the games happen, you know, Mullet Mafia probably would have taken it. This one, I wouldn't put my predictions out just yet, you know, because Invictus, yeah, historically a very good team, but again, they have some lineup changes, as we will see in a second here, and also G9, you know, they have a history of maybe being the underdogs, but then just like surprising everyone and playing very well in the big tournaments. So I think this is going to be a close game, and if you guys think so as well, and if perhaps you have some predictions to make, well, you have a chance to do just that. Community match voting is back, and you can definitely put some points, you know, cast a vote, put some points on the team that you think is going to win. Maybe you think it's going to be a tie, you know, then you can put some points on that as well. If you want to do that, head to play.mobileesports.org/app/voting, or just use the QR code. And I mean, the good thing is that you can do this in like a minute. If you have to make an account, sure, maybe 2 minutes, but you have a chance to get 18,000 credits and up to 145 cases in total prize pool back. So I think this is just a fun activity, and, you know, it does make it more enticing and more just emotional to watch the game, you know, if you have your points put honestly on a specific team. So yeah, head over there, you know, make sure that you use this free opportunity. Now, I think that is about it, but maybe not exactly yet. Just cast your vote. Maybe wait until we go over the lineups, because again, you know, some changes have been made. So first we have Invictus, and I think, Jesse, you did some good research before we start the stream. Maybe you want to tell everyone about it.
It is, it's looking nice, it's looking fresh, a new lineup from Invictus, and this team has been legacy, of course, written all over it, right? Second place in Pro League Season 1, first place actually, last Pro League, of course, in that final, of course, in Season 1. They lost against Rain, and in the second, they won against the side from Mullet Mafia, but the lineup is what is the most... weird, I would say, not necessarily, but the most extrovert at least, because they have made some huge changes. Noxic, Deadly Dave, and Melik, all 3 of those players have left Invictus, and that might have been due to the reason that a player, or as Jimmy of course previously mentioned in the last interview as well, that he was potentially going to go towards Thailand, I think for his college, I think for his study, but I think he's still playing, I think he's still here. So now that they were a little bit unsure, there's some new additions that are possibly coming in, because you still got the main core, Mixage, Jimmy, and Melody. Those 3 are probably going to be confirmed. Jeppa didn't play in the last Pro League final, so I'm a little hesitant if he was going to be playing. The two players that are kind of new into the lineup that I would potentially see are Exi and Azuna. And Azuna has already been in the chat, as I can see right now, so maybe he's here just to watch about what we're going to say about him potentially. So maybe we're going to see him. Now that I also see Extras there with a pretty good rating and with a pretty good maps, I'm potentially thinking him as well, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is just a lineup packed with great players, and honestly, like, it would be hard for me to choose which 5 should take the center stage here. So yeah, some interesting changes again. My kind of only issue with these lineup changes is that, sure, like EXZ and Azuna, they're both great additions. The problem is I don't know if they've had enough time to really like play together and really, you know, just build that chemistry, because Invictus, yeah, sure, they had a really good chemistry before, but now, you know, with all these lineup changes, when you have potentially two new players in a starting 5, it's just different, you know. Even if they play the same roles, it's just different. You have to adjust. And you know, the last time we saw Invictus was like a month ago. So yeah, a month is still enough time, but well, I still think that might come to a little bit of their detriment. Yeah. But if we look at the map stats, I mean, so far they're looking amazing, man. Like pretty much everything above 50%. Most maps above 70, like that is insane. Like Invictus, they definitely have built a legacy over these last couple of seasons in Critical Ops competitive. But again, you know, this is a bit of a changed team, and so, you know, even though we do put some good some expectations on them, I do feel like they're not like expected to perform as highly as usual, which is normally, you know, taking first or second place.
No, we're definitely going to be it's definitely going to be interested seeing. They are usually going for those old maps, right? They were one of the only teams that actually played Legacy on a pretty good level. They tried Village, they tried their Castello, which is definitely something that I feel like G9 is going to try to Team G9 is going to be trying to avoid that themselves. But speaking of that Team G9 Twist, we have been speaking a little bit about that, of course, in that previous pre-show, and in general, Team G9 is a team that, what you said was, they're individually pretty good, but as a team, it hasn't really been that well, it hasn't been going that well themselves as well. But the problem is that once we're going to be taking a look at that Invictus lineup, they are obviously new to playing with each other. Team G9 has played a long time. They've also had that month or so to prepare. And I think that is going to be something they might be able to take the upper hand with, solely based on the fact that they've been playing a long time together and have had that month extra to prep now with each other. It's only going to get better shaping up, I think.
Yeah, I do think that G9 have a very solid lineup. I mean, if we look at this, it's, you know, there's some very familiar names there. And again, they do have that advantage where most teams are, you know, from all over the world, you know, just like 1 or 2 players from each country. This one, it's a pretty heavy Turkish lean, right? Like there's 5 Turkish players here, and that could mean that, you know, if they all are in the starting 5, for example, that they all can communicate in Turkish as well, which definitely, you know, just helps you with just how quickly you can exchange ideas, and you just get those calls out. So I think that's definitely something that helps. I think, you know, if you have all of your players from the same country that you live in, it just helps, just team chemistry, team morale wise, you know. So yeah, that is definitely something to look at. But we also have Baba Sadak, and we also have Stratus, and they're both also great players, so it'll be interesting to see if they are in the starting 5 today or not. And yeah, another thing, Jesse, I mentioned is that I feel like G9, they always show up when it really matters the most, right? Like they're always kind of that underdog where you wouldn't exactly put them on the same level as like Invictus, Mullet Mafia, Rain. Like those are kind of the 3 like top tier teams in the Eurasia region. But G9 is kind of always, you know, just like lurking in the background, just like ready to strike when nobody is ready. So yeah, I do think that they have that potential to just cause an absolute upset.
Yeah, one more change, of course, to mention, right? Star moving to Mullet Mafia as well, and 2 new additions for G9 coming in the name of Crux and Lucette. And the fun thing with Crux and Lucette is that they played previously with Team G9 at Worlds last year. That's where they were meeting each other as well. And Lucette has even been playing the last season of Intermediate with another team. So they're definitely players that you got to be watching out for to potentially, as you said, we don't know what roster they're going to be putting up. Baba Sodak, Uriah, Stratus, Fair, and Adulkit are 5 players that we have seen before. That is their main lineup, but they have very good options to potentially put out as a substitute or as a 6-man for a potential map. So I feel like G9 has a lot of options.
Yeah, for sure. And I do think that they will have to explore those options today because they're playing against Invictus. And again, that is a team that you do not want to mess around with. So, if something doesn't work, they have to change and they have to adjust quickly because if you don't, Invictus is just going to maul over you. Even with the new lineup, like they are just, they still have the strat book. They still have like all the pretty much, old players. So it's not like just because they've changed 2 players in the lineup, suddenly it's all over. So yeah, G9 definitely looking like a great team. We'll see how great they are against Invictus. And let's actually take a look at the maps.
Yeah, the maps.
I think that'd be a good one.
It's definitely a good one, right? That's the thing we still haven't looked at. And Twist, I'm gonna be honest, I talked about Castello and 100% pick rate for Invictus. I would want to ban it if I was Team G9. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh no, I mean I wouldn't play Castello either. Like if you haven't even like played a single game there, so probably just go for the more conventional picks. Maybe we'll see some I don't know, Canals. I think that's in the cards. They who do have 100% on Soar and Raid, and both of those maps are very chaotic. Both those maps are kind of unconventional, so there is a possibility that they get banned because again, you do have bans. And Invictus, I think they've definitely taken a look at these map stats before they did their bans. So yeah, the map vetoes are going to be interesting. But let's actually go to the head-to-head here to actually see exactly how good both these sides individually are.
Yeah, these guys are both obviously going to be stand-ins for these teams potentially. Extas, Tofcore, Extasic already played with Invictus, I think, for quite some time. And Lisette, as I said previously, inside of the Worlds lineup from Team G9. Didn't place too well, I think, like top 16 potentially, but still players that you're potentially going to be able to put in also as entry fraggers just to add some extra little bit of spice to your lineup, just to add a little bit of aggression.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a case to be made for all of these players to play in the starting 5. Surely, you have some players that maybe perform more consistently, but I think, everyone has a reason and a meaning behind why they are in these lineups. For example, EXZ and Adulkeet, I mean, they both have great win rates, great ratings as well. Especially Adulkeet, like playing as an entry fragger is very hard. Like normally, a lot of the times you are like one of the worst performing players because you just rush in and you're willing to pretty much go down so that your teammate can refrag and you can just sniff out the info. So the fact that he can have 1.22 rating while being an entry fragger, I mean, that is definitely an impressive statistic. Now we have Mixage versus Stratus. Again, overall solid ratings, solid win rates. Now Mixage does have over 100 maps played, so the experience is definitely there. And I mean, that could be one of the reasons why he's also the in-game leader. The good in-game leader is always made by just, a lot of experience. And then, you're able to adjust your strats on the fly.
Yeah, together with Jimmy, of course, they need to be the experience that gets his lineup. Speaking of Jimmy, of course, also the IGL. I think they're mainly duo IGLing, right? Jimmy maybe a little bit more on the, I would say, mental side, potentially, just keeping the spirit as high as he possibly can up against the Fair, which has even more, or Fair against a Fair that has even more maps played himself. Of course, EXE, as we said earlier, also a player that has been playing in the Season 2 of the Intermediate with a different lineup. He played with Outlaws before, so is also a player that can potentially be swapped in. Jeppo, of course, didn't play in the grand finals of the last Pro League season, left out, played with a different lineup, but potentially we're gonna see him now in that starting lineup, maybe upped a little bit. Same could be said about Eurasia. He played not necessarily with Team G9 or Team Flames back in the day, but he did play with Team G9, for example, in their intermediate season this time. So again, 2 players that are potentially going to be able to be swapped in, and the ratings, yeah, although they're not impressive, still decently enough.
Yeah, for sure. And finally, we do have Melody against Crocs. Now, again, we are not exactly sure which one of these players will play. Now, Melody and Crocs maybe have a little bit lower rating, but again, that individual rating, it's somewhat accurate. It does obviously calculate your kills and deaths and assists, and that's something that can indicate your performance. But I think, for players like Melody and Crocs, especially for like a support player like Melody, like even though the low, like subjectively low rating, he's like, if you're a support, like you are just doing it all for your team. You're not playing it individually a single bit, which is kind of what rating normally displays. So you're sure that Melody throws those flashes, throw those smokes, just like sacrifices himself if he needs to be sacrificed, as maybe grim as that sounds. So yeah, just overall, I think all these players are definitely there to perform. And we'll also have Sazuna versus Baba Sadok. Now Sadok, he said today that he will be playing, so I think that is confirmed. And he also said that he will be taking on a more aggressive approach because, as the game leader, you normally just kind of take it a little bit slowly. Well, for him today, he plans to be more aggressive, so that's a little tidbit of information that you guys perhaps won't have. And then we also have Azuna. Maybe win rate not the best, and we also haven't seen like that much from him, but I'm again sure that there's a reason why he's in the starting 7.
Yeah, I mean, he has been a player, and he's already been in the chat as well. I think just a player, and that's very nice in the community himself. But the last time he played was in Intermediate Season 1, so the chance of him playing, I would be calling a little bit slim if he plays. I hope he's played a lot of rank to keep his aim up, potentially go into some scrims with the boys from Invictus, of course. But you don't necessarily need a player like Baba Sodak, for example, to step up for a Team G9 when you have other players to do so. But Invictus, of course, bringing in that Melody is set potentially not in the main 5. I mean, he is the most experienced, right? You can say a lot about a Jimmy. You can say a lot about a Mixage, but Melody has about 20 maps more than both of them, right? So he is what seems like experience. He has been through Storm. He's been through sunny times, of course, but he's still here. And he's still in that 1-0 rating, so I guess that we're still going to be able to see Melody come into the server. But yeah, you really don't know, right? Maybe he's not here. Maybe he's had himself an off day. We never know. The map pool, this time we know it. Wraith and Soar are in for Legacy and Plaza, but the rest will all still remain.
Yeah, it's a solid map pool for sure. So yeah, the map pool is there. I mean, some changes have been made, but I think overall it's pretty nice to see that there's both like classic maps like Bureau and Canals, and also some kind of newer ones, some maybe experimental maps. For example, like Village, Castello, Soar. All those maps are just very they're very like not individualistic. They're very like there's not any other map like Castello, right? Like yeah, it's like they're one of a kind. There you go. Anyways, let's take a look at which one of these maps will be picked. Will we have like some classics like Canals or Bureau or not? Map veto is coming any second.
Yep, and here it is. Let's see if there's going to be some odds maps in there. We're keeping it clear. Invictus almost always banning away Port. They've played it they played it 5 times over the course of all the time that it's been there, so definitely not going to be one they want to play. There comes the Castello ban, of course. We expected Bureau getting picked for Invictus. I expected it to be a little bit more of a Village or a Soar pick, but hey, Bureau will do. It's not a map that G9 have played that often. And then the Canals pick. And I would have to say, Twist, statistically speaking, Invictus have 15 wins on that map and 9 losses. Team G9 has 5 wins and 4 losses on Canals. So that's, in my eyes, a little bit odd for Team G9 to go for. But I think the Bureau pick is very fair. And if you're, on Canals, if you're ready, if you are warmed up, if you're prepared, I mean, you have to do it on every map nevertheless, right? To be fair.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just like, it's entertaining because we're getting ready for some, 2018 Critical Ops Action Bureau and Canals. Both of these maps have been in the map pool for ages now. And so it's always interesting to watch these maps that, maybe aren't like newer additions. For example, like Soar or Castello or even Village. It's always interesting to watch kind of the OG maps because, again, the longer a map has been in the map pool, the kind of more, all players have played it. And I think the more equal the fight is most of the time. So, we might see some like crazy upsets on Castello sometimes, like 13-1s, 13-2s. But I think if you go Bureau and Canals, again, maps that have been there, like, I don't know, since I started playing at least, I think you're, getting ready to see very, very close games, possibly double digits on both maps.
Yeah, now that I've been thinking about it more, actually, about the Canals pick, it might not even be necessarily so weird, because Village, Wraith, and Soar, 3 relatively newer maps, right? On Village, it's obviously going to be a little bit of a gamble, roll the dice, but Wraith has been in the pool for quite some time, but left out, and Soar also relatively new coming into it. Do you want to go against a team like Invictus that usually goes for maps that are that odd? I wouldn't necessarily think so. So I feel like for a Team G9, going for a safe pick as Canals is actually going to benefit them more than going on a map where they don't know how much Invictus have prepared. Because Invictus always comes with tricks on maps that you don't really think are even like played that often. They played Legacy as one of the only teams. They came in to the grand finals, picking it as well, and I think they won like 13-4. They make the biggest upset like almost ever on a map like that, which secured them a win in that grand final. So I really do like the approach that Team G9 is going for, because it at least leaves out less of the random stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's also like good to finally see some like classic maps, because I think we've kind of been carried away a little bit with like some interesting map picks coming in. Like seeing Castello more, seeing Village, seeing a lot of like those type maps. So now Canals and Bureau is just like, I think it's the perfect 2 games to have, and also I think it will like allow us to kind of elevate both these teams on like where exactly they stand at, because again every team is pretty much good on these maps, so it's just like a more accurate representation of where they stand. Because again, if you go Castello, there might be a team that has just like played it way more than any other. So like when you have like maps like this, it's I think we'll kind of, after this, we'll be able to see is G9 again showing up big time when it matters the most in the pro league, or perhaps is Invictus maybe just like falling off, it's they haven't adjusted, or perhaps they've adjusted amazingly and this was actually the change I needed. All of that we will have an answer to you in about, I guess, 2 hours, but we'll start off with Bureau.
Yeah, we'll start off to see. And I mean, if you speak about Bureau and Canals like back into play now, I would like to see some, and I think the chat does too, because yesterday we saw only Raid and Soar. Twice we saw Raid and Soar right in the Americas. So once you've taken a look there, maybe you want to see some more normal map. It sounds weird saying that actually, but like the legacy maps in there, and then not legacy I mean, but Canals and Bureau, 2 very, very good and stable maps, and it definitely opts for a game that isn't going to be like, for example, Merciless went 13-2 on the map. Like Castello yesterday, right? They won very, very big because they were a team, like you said, preparing very good on a map like Castello, a one-of-a-kind map. If you're prepared, the other team might not, and you're gonna have some trouble. So going back to the basics, let's get ready.
All right, so you want to cast any predictions, Jesse? Like we talked, we talked in the first game that the first like a few hours back, we talked kind of about our overall predictions for the whole pro league. But let's first just touch on this game. You think it's gonna? Personally, I think it could be a tie. Like I think both these teams are definitely here to play, and because we're playing on maps that could be double digits on both for both teams, I think it's very likely that we might actually see a tie. I do see Invictus as being the favorites in this one, but again, I haven't seen them exactly play with this new lineup. Meanwhile, G9, they've just been smashing it with the same lineup that they've had. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting how that one goes.
Yeah, Twist, you're calling me on a weak spot here, because as you said, both maps are probably going to be going into double digits, right? And then the question will be, will it be both maps going one way, or will it go like one map each to each other? And once we take a look at the map and take a look at the statistics, the side from Invictus is for now favored on both of the maps. And that's the main trigger I have right now, thinking that, okay, I think G9 is going to get close, but I feel like both of the maps in the end might still fall into the side of Invictus, and that is unlike still thinking about the fact that Invictus might not be fully prepared yet with their lineup. I think if they get time and if they adjust in the game itself, I feel like it's going to be working out. So I do feel like it's going to be a 2-0 for Invictus, but both maps going both into double digits for both teams. I feel like that's definitely something we're going to get. And then still, if both teams go into double digits, it's basically roll the dice most of the time, right? So it could still fall in to play, but I'm saying this. Let's go.
All right, so judging by how casters' predictions normally go, I said tie. You said the Invictus, winning both. So
unlucky.
Yeah, it's probably going to be G9 winning 2-0. I think that's what we can expect here. But time will tell, and what better way to find it out than starting with the knife round? It should be coming up any second now. We should be seeing how it kind of goes. Again, it is Bureau, and on Bureau, I think knife rounds are quite important. Again, the more one-sided a map is, the more the knife rounds actually matter. And Bureau is definitely, like, over the years, I'd say it has become a little bit more receptive to the breach advances, but still, I do think it's a pretty heavy collision-sided map. You kind of, maybe on a completely equal map, you'd see like 6-6, obviously, at halftime. I think on Bureau, if you get like 8-4, 7-5, but I'd rather say 8-4. Like, that's decent. Getting 4 rounds on the breach side is decent. 5 is like, that's good. You can definitely take the game then. So yeah, I think when we actually get into the knife round again, we should see the team that wins it actually taking the collision side and start.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait for the teams to to get ready, of course, because there's only a few players for now inside of the server. So waiting for that to all get sorted out, and then we're gonna be lining up for a nice game of Bureau. And after that, of course, Kunal's coming up. But as we said, we're still a little bit unsure. This best of 2, of course, we would like to have ourselves a beautiful game. But once the game is not live yet, of course, we can sit here and brag a little bit about what comes next, of course. Maybe even remind the viewers what we did with our caster predictions themselves inside of the first pre-show, of course. We made a prediction about all teams. I do see that all the players are on the server, so we're just waiting for the confirmation. Maybe we don't have time for that, but I mean, our caster predictions twist, and that's why you said the caster curse comes in, have been switched up a little bit. Because Violent GG, as we mentioned earlier in this pre-show, won against Rain 2-0. And that was, in our eyes, and I think for everybody that was watching or was looking at the statistics, definitely didn't think that would ever be true, right? Rain is, to COps players and to everyone here in the Critical Ops world, just the team to watch out for. And them already losing to such a new lineup. Okay, Noxic coming in, sure, but the rest are also relatively new. What are they going to be able to bring?
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. You know, Violent GG, it's definitely a team that, you know, has been there. You know, we've seen them play all right, but I think it's like Noxic, now he's, I think, one of the maybe top 3, definitely one of the top 5 players in my opinion. But, you know, back in the day, he was like, literally, he was the guy. He was, I think, at one point rocking like 4 point something rating in one of the biggest tournaments. Like, it was just crazy how good he was, right? So it's always very interesting when like a top 5 player joins I wouldn't say like an unknown team, but like a team that maybe isn't like in the top 4, top 5 just yet. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think that definitely will bring up the like overall team morale. And look, like they've started off great, like right, like they've beaten the Rain, and I think that's a great way to start it off, because then you're just like, you know, that definitely builds your confidence that you can you know, perform well in the next upcoming games as well.
Oh, and I do hear something that's very nice. We're gonna hear Knife soon, because they will start to slash up to the B-Long, of course. This is the knife round for the deciding site, and who will take it?
We have some close competition, but it is going to be
Invictus
winning this one. So, you know, probably they'll want to start on the coalition side again. Some teams like to start on the harder one so that they can just like relax once it comes to the end of the first game. But honestly, I think, you know, from what we've seen, just as statistically, they should start on coalition. You know, just make sure that they have a good start. Or not. It is going to be the breach side for Invictus. That's an interesting pick. But yeah, maybe they have something prepared. Maybe they're just feeling extra confident today. We don't exactly know, but we will soon figure out. Pistol Away is underway, and we are live.
Yes, we're live with the pistol, and we will see which way this is gonna go. The first game, of course, we actually have 5-on-5 on the server. And again, the same push that comes in onto A last time. No retake opportunity. Fair already trying to hold on. Only good for the first 2. Melody with a trade.
Ooh, some nice pistol trades there. 3v3 situation. What is Yuri? Oh, he's getting caught off guard. Can he get his kill? He can, but he knows 2 are behind him. Still gets some good damage, and it's gonna be Melody taken down. 1v2, and it's gonna be Stratus to get a nice double and get G9 their first round. This is definitely what they need. Again, the more one-sided a map is, you know, the more it matters which team wins the pistol round. And so the fact that G9 are able to take a round that they definitely should have gotten, that just helps them. You know, you don't want to see Invictus on 2, you know, heading into your first rifle round, trying to fight for, you know, your first round in the 3rd round of play. And, you know, at that point, if Invictus win, they're literally like a few away from taking it all. So yeah, will be interesting to see how this one goes. Now we have full rifles on the side of G9. Even we even have scoped rifles. That's interesting. You know, they're definitely not here to play. And Sadak, he's playing and he's pushing up. Will he be heard? This seems like a very free kill for him. Can he spot him? Oh, that's a nice flick. Instant headshot. Now Fair gonna put that AR to good use. And yeah, that's what you usually see in these pistol rounds, you know, just like complete maul, just completely running over everyone on the other side with pistols. So moving into our first rifle round, this is where things actually start to get interesting.
Yeah, it really is. And now we can also take a look at the lineup. So Jimmy not there. Hazuna and XC both playing, of course. And Azuna now making his return potentially. Last time he played in a pro tournament was intermediate season 1. So he's had a full season to get back. I'm very interested to see what he's going to be able to do. And also, Lecit is playing. Instead of Adulkeet, he isn't there. So Adulkeet won't be here, but Lecit will. So they've also made some changes here. And a tactical timeout instantly been used by the side from Invictus. It's up to Mixit to get his team back to a good level again. As he might also have had some issues. You saw him looking at the wall. I'm not too sure. Maybe he's trying to solve that. But a full buy will sure be coming in. And we will have to see how Team G9 is going to be able to withstand this. Because they only have themselves the M4s. But if they win this round, maybe some AKs, maybe some SGs picked up. And things could be looking a whole lot better for this side of G9.
Oh, they definitely could. I mean, for the side of Invictus, though, this is the part where they actually have to show us, you know, what they have prepared. That pistol round strat, I mean, you kind of just go for a throwaway strat. You know, sometimes you push B, sometimes you push A. At the end of the day, pistol rounds are very much down to aim and timing. But rifle rounds, this is where things get interesting. Babisadak spotting 3 players there. Throws a flash, really go for the peak? Not really, but that's still some great information. And definitely, you know, shots being fired. Definitely them being heard. So we can see Team G9, yeah, they're just going to send 4 towards B and then 1 watching intel just to make sure that no crosses happen. So at this point, if Invictus decide to go B, this could be a very hard push. I think for them better than the events hall to kitchen, but Babisadak is going to deny that at least for now. 1 on his kill feed and, well, not going to be adding any more as EXZ refrag stratas though. Spots some players, does get away, and Jeppa meanwhile gets the loose seat. Oh, what is that? Stratus with a double? And Yuri with another one. Stratus with a triple. Man, Stratus is really showing up. 6 kills to his name. 2 in the pistol. Didn't really eco frag and then got 3 more in this one. G9 getting their 3rd round. Getting their first rifle round. Well, this is where things start to get interesting because now Invictus have to go eco. And at that point, we might be looking at 4 or even 5-0.
Yeah, and those rifles are being picked up, right? 3 SGs have been secured and the M4s have been upgraded to AUX, so this will start to get a little dicey soon. Invictus will have to be very careful about how they approach this, and immediately Fair doesn't take any prisoners onto the long side, immediately starting things off. Babisadak swinging on his contact, now trying to wallbang, breaks the armor, and XC almost falls, but the A-long push is very hard to do with just deagles against rifles, so they will have a whole lot of trouble. The gunner flash, the swing that comes in, Babisadak that falls. Second player lining up. Azuna still adding up to a second, but now they know where he is. They have him pinned down. Around this one, Team G9, a cleanup, but still losing 2 men in the process. So that might be an economy hit that they're gonna be feeling in a few more rounds.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I mean, I don't think we expected G9 to start off this strongly, but at this point, Invictus have their 2nd shot at a rifle round, and I mean, they have everything that they would have ever wanted, right? Like, they have smokes, they even have a Eurasia on EXZ. Yeah, by the way, EXZ, I've played with this guy in ranked, and he really is a good Eurasia player. You know, one of the last ones left, obviously, you know, the caster's curse, it's always gonna happen, right? Like, this is what happens. He goes down to Fair. I mean, to be fair, Fair is like an insane Eurasia, an insane sniper as well, so, you know, fair play to him. Either way, yeah, we do have lost the EXZ, but 4 more remaining alive for Invictus, and they do equalize the scoreboard.
Yeah, it was a great try there for EXE, because what he wanted to do with the ratio, picking a Fair potentially, and then of course letting the rotations for G9 come in. Now they're fully stacking B with like 2 or maybe 3 players on the rotate, so it's gonna be tough. They could have pulled some players off, still kills going back and forth, and it looks like the round isn't gonna work out for Invictus, solely based on the fact that B side is heavily guarded and pushing through the smoke is Melody, catching Fair off guard, looking the wrong way. And now, Babisadak that swots out the cross. Melody knows where he is. This is a very good replace or post-plan situation that Melody has created because he knows where Babisadak is approximately.
Yeah, this would be a great way for Babisadak to show that he deserves a spot in the main starting 5. Again, you know, we saw that maybe the stats on his side aren't exactly the best, but, well, we do know that, you know, he's capable of doing this. That's why he's on the team. We'll see what he does. That is a lot of sound being made. I think Melody any second now might hear him, and at that point he can just play hide and seek. Sadak has to clear so many different angles here. Does go for the defuse. Gonna push. Oh, and he gets a frag. That's interesting. Is there enough time? That's the real question, though. Oh, it's gonna be close, and Sadak gets it. Nice 1v clutch. 1v1 clutch coming in from him, putting G9 up on 5 rounds. This is just mentally not good for Invictus. So they're definitely gonna buy up. But yeah, this is what Sadak said. You know, he's gonna play more aggressively. I guess one of the aggressive ways is just clutching 1v1. So good for him. So, Invictus, I mean, they're still looking for their first, and even though, you know, you can lose a few rounds on the breach side, you know, starting off on Beirut, that's kind of expected. At this point, they really have to, you know, change up their act, because this is just not going to go fair. What is that? Again, this guy, every time he gets a kill, it's like, you know, it deserves to be put in a clip montage. EXZ, again, this duel, and this time he wins it out. Jeppa does get taken down by Sadak as well, so now 3v3 underway.
Yeah, last round, of course, still, like, just Bubba saw like that reposition was so incredibly huge from him coming out. It basically won him the round, and now have to take positions as well. But now on the A side, that has been taken over. EXE getting seen. Good jiggle for Stratus, able to at least know and witness an EXE on the other part of the site. Doesn't necessarily want to peek that. Eurasia is a deadly weapon to peek into, but maybe a deep swing comes in. Uria trying, but of course, you cannot allow that to happen. Hazuna takes him down to low health. Armor has been broken. Lucid up against the one-on-one now. EXE repositions, runs on the site. Lucid hasn't seen him, so now EXE can start looking in for the kill, but they're both ringing around the rosies. EXE, better position taken. Potentially watching through the wall, through a little bit of a window. He's gonna spot him out, and beautifully done there through the tank. Invictus up on the board, but once again, just one player survive, and it might not be enough to sustain a beautiful economy, but a round would at least do.
Yeah, I mean, clutching with the ratio is very hard, and EXZ definitely showing us, you know, that even though, again, you know, over the last few years, there's just been less and less ratio players actually being really good in Critical Ops. I mean, this guy could be one of the saving graces for, you know, the sniper being viable, because, you know, he's just showing us, sure, Fair took him down before, but this time he was able to clutch it out. Oh, there's so much info, so much flashes. What is happening? Nades exchanged both ways. Somehow 3 players still live on G9. They're almost eco. Melody takes out another one. Now it's only going to be Fair. Oh, and he got wait, he didn't get spotted. They're not going to check this. They're never going to expect him here. Oh, they line up. He gets one. He gets a double. Fair. What a play. What a positioning to get both of them and get G9 up to 6. That was insane, Jesse.
Yeah, and EXE should know he's around the corner, right? He's been battling with him so many times, but when there's only one player surviving and it's Fair, why would he be on A long? Exactly for that reason, because he just wins the round. And beautifully unpredictability that Fair uses. And now repositioning to go for a B long peak. Surprise, surprise! And Mixed should be a sitting duck. Hazuna will be the first one to fall. Oh, Fair! Once again, just shutting them down. It's a shooting gallery on the B long side. The double entry taken. Team G9 just toying with Invictus at this point.
Man, this is what I mean by G9 just being one of those teams that just randomly shows up and literally destroys, you know, top 3, top 2 teams. This is insane. Obviously, the match is not yet over, but just the individual performance coming in from Fair right now is just unexpected, to say the least. And again, he gets a triple. He's going to go for the ace here. Stratus does take that away from him, but they're not going to take away the round victory. Melody left in a 1v4, flashes it out, but yeah, they're just going to P get one, and he gets overwhelmed. So Team G9 moving up to 7 rounds now. And Fair, this guy's on 15 frags in 8 rounds, playing with the Eurasia as well, a weapon that is really hard to utilize in today's meta. So yeah, he's just showing up big time. And honestly, Fair, like, I don't know if you've noticed this, Jesse, but like, Fair is one of those players who, like, either he has like just the most average game ever, or he has like the most insane game ever. There is never no middle. There's never any middle ground. It's literally just like one or the other extreme.
Yeah, true. And again, like, in general, Fair has been playing good, but the team play as well for Team G9, peeking off each other's contact in that 1vx is just absolutely amazing. You cannot allow to give those fights away, and this time, once you've taken those entries, just falling away, play crossfires on the side, you will win the round. Team G9 just playing into perfection, and once you have players like Fair stepping up, and the rest now as well playing absolutely amazing, there's nothing that there's allowed from an Invictus whatsoever, and 8-1 is already on the board. Like, let's take a look at this one once more. How, when there's like 1 minute left on the clock, it's a 1-on-2. Who sits in that corner, Twist? Can you explain to me? Maybe Fair, but no one else.
Yeah, this guy's just playing mind games right now. Like, yeah, you just simply not expect, you know, it's such like a weird position with a deagle as well, right? Like he did all of that with a deagle. So yeah, moving into this round, I mean, it's round number 10. 3 more chances for Invictus to get at least 1 more round. If they go on the other side with like only 1 round, that's looking bad. And looks like Jap and Mixage, they know it, and they're looking to change that. But Eurasia, he's gonna come in and get one. Hazuna quick on refrag down. Now a 2v4, but Fair is still alive. And Sadak, great backstab there again, playing that aggressive playstyle that he promised to us. Now Sadak, he's gonna move away, but the thing is, the bomb is down, but they're not aware. What is happening, man? Like, they cleared B, then they're like, oh, well, we've actually left the bomb at spawn, guys, so we actually have to evacuate B. They don't even leave a single player on B to kind of just like hold the site until they arrive. I mean, it kind of makes sense. They don't want to lose a player in a 3v2, right? Like, they want to keep the player advantage, but at the same time, they have to clear the sites once again, and this time G9 are in a better position to actually deny it.
Yeah, Fair just on the A long, of course, just keeping so much fear into them. Now they don't want to push it anymore. They're hesitant, and now the swing comes in, will make them fall. Just Fair left standing. But are you gonna expect a double man stack on this B side to come in? You won't. So Fair is gonna grab a free frag now, being careful, of course. Doesn't want to make too much noise, but has once again repositioned Fair. Playing the mind games once more, now nading onto the side just to swing out after the smoke. That is almost a hit. He tries to pick up a rifle and still has created a 1-on-2 chance for himself. The SG will give him at least a chance. This nade is going to be good. Will be good enough to take the damage. Fair repositioning one more time, but the time is definitely running the essence quite soon for this retake. Around the corner, Fair needs to have 2 men lined up. Trying to spot it out, picks out the smoke, gives him some extra cover. Tapping, toying. Has to start making a fake, the few swings in, expecting a double stack is needed, and a no scope from XE coming in. He was fumbling with his weapons a little bit, but in the end, finds Eurasia at the perfect time to pick up the frag. Invictus at least 2, but is it going to be enough, Twist? I'm highly doubting it.
I mean, it might not be enough. If they get the 3rd, it could be all like it, you know, it's still possible if they get the 3rd or the 4th for sure. But man, I mean, both of those rounds that Invictus have won are purely off of EXZ, right? Like the first one, he wins the 1v1, and in this one, it's a 2v3, and he gets an insane flick on Sadak. Like Sadak was peeking that, and he would have gotten like a 2 or maybe 3-piece lineup there, and somehow EXZ is able to do like a 90-degree flick and get him with a sniper, and then finish off Fair there. You know, with a very intelligent play as well. But this time, they are aware of Sadak's advances. He is so aggressive, yet he still gets a kill. Again, so much info given over, so much map control that G9 can take now. The bomb is down as well, and even though they're down a player, they're definitely not down bad in terms of the info. Like, they have all of the info that they should have. So, yeah, for now, I think Invictus have kind of understood that G9 are playing, like, very aggressively, so they're just gonna wait it out. I mean, they still have a minute on the clock, so, you know, why rush it? You know, wait for them to come to you if they so have decided to.
Yeah, I mean, Bubba Sodak, he said he was going to play more aggressive. He sure is, and that might help on the breach side as well, but now a shutdown on middle is prevailing. Lassit will be able to find a triple, but it only leaves Mixage remaining. He's still the final graze, and I feel like for Invictus, this would be a very great round to win.
Oh yeah, this would for sure change things, right? Like, it's only 1 round, but at the same time, like, this could just put them in a position where they can actually win it out, even if they lose the base. But it's, yeah, it's just not gonna happen. Eurasia, he just does that, just like casual drive-by shooting by the AUG, and that puts G9 on well, 1 round away from double digits, and we haven't even been, like, we're not even done with the first half. Like, this is unprecedented. Again, you know, we understand Invictus, they have a different lineup. You know, Jeppa is playing, Hazuna, EXZ are playing. Like, all of these are kind of new players that maybe the chemistry is not there just yet. But honestly, like, EXZ, the newest addition, I think he's like the MVP for Invictus right now either way. But yeah, we can kind of see that like something is just not simply working, because, well, again, breach side is hard, but normally you're kind of expected to get more than 2.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps in this round they can turn to 3.
And Twist, you said before, like, Bubble Sonic is going to play very aggressive. What does that mean for the breach side, right? It's going to mean a lot of things.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if he's pushing like he's on breach on the collision side, I can't imagine, like, I can't play. He's just gonna, you know, W key only on the breach side of things. Eurasia is so aggressive, it works! A triple for Eurasia. They're all looking different directions. Communication's not there. Stratus is there, though. Gets an AUG hit on EXZ, and now it's only Jeppa in a 1v4. One of the players that you normally see for Invictus. And even though he's able to redeem himself with a 1, you know, get that honor kill, doesn't really get any more than that. So moving into the second half, yeah, man. I mean, we said it's gonna be double digits for both teams. G9, they need to have 8 rounds to even get to that point, and yeah, it's just gonna be a lot. Also, this is insane. Just like everyone on G9 is performing so well, right? Like we talk about fair, but at the same time, like we see players like Lucite, and we also see players like Eurasia just getting like triples, Sada clutching things. Like G9 are looking just so solid individually and as a team, but they still have to win this pistol.
Yeah, oh, that's a good four players peak, and they're all doing damage. Victor's trying to hold on. They've done some great stuff, at least in the first bit of this round. But will it be enough? Stratus and Bubba, the final 2 players remaining. Stratus now final piece. A flawless pistol for Invictus, and I mean, this is the way back in for the side from Invictus. I was almost gonna call, okay, we have once again messed up with our predictions. We can throw them out of the window, but maybe there's a second lifeline to be called for Invictus, and that lifeline is called the Coalition side.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And I mean, again, you know, I talked about how, hold on, fair on 17. All right, well, yeah, this man is really feeling Yuri as well on, like, you know, 2.3, what is that, 2.3, 2.4 KD. That is also pretty insane. But yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Like, you know, the players might have changed, you know, the chemistry might not be as much there, but the strat book is there, and also EXZ is there, gets a double with the AUG. He's gonna get pushed. He also gets so much damage in. At this point, he can just die, and that will be still enough. Well, gets the third one as well. Jeppa from behind, and Yuri, he does get one. I mean, at least, you know, they make Invictus buy another $3,000 weapon, $3,000 weapon again, but yeah, not really much more than that. I mean, G9, again, that was their eco, so not much more to be expected. Now moving into the rifle rounds, this is where things get interesting. Invictus still a great comeback that they have to make, but again, you know, the strat book has not changed, so they still have access to it. They still can take a peek in it and, you know, and play maybe something that G9 have not expected or practiced for. So we'll see how the rifle round goes. Seems like the bombs dropped spawn, so that kind of indicates a slower approach to things here.
And I do really like that on this Coalition side, it allows options for an EXE to go for an Eurasia later on in this half, right? And that might allow a lot of chance to come in, but this round looks about done. This is about the same as the first bits of the first half went twist. We saw an absolute blowout on Coalition side. Are we potentially going to repeat ourselves?
Ooh, this is interesting. Hazuna is so aggressive, but he's not getting punished for it. Yuria, though, looking to finally get his first frag for his team in this round, but it's a 2v5, and they're just going to keep peeking, they're going to keep jiggling, and they're going to get that headshot. Mixage takes him down, so that's only Stratus left alive. Looking around, but I think at this point he should consider saving, but that's not going to be an option. Hazuna, simply better. 3 kills in this round, pushing up, and just showing us that, yeah, maybe he's, you know, not up there just yet, but Invictus, 3 rounds in a row now, and it's starting to look promising, right? Like, look at the cash as well. Like, this could potentially be another eco for Team G9. And at that point, you know, that lead that G9 has isn't really that big, and they really start getting some rounds. So, yeah, things have been switched on its head, flipped on its head, rather, should I say. But Invictus, they've taken a tactical pause, which is an interesting decision. I would have expected G9 to do it, but I guess they want to talk some things over, Jesse.
Yeah, potentially maybe again some issue that has to be solved. I'm not too sure, but yeah, for what I see more often, or what I would do myself when I would play in a team or in COPS or whatever game when I play with a team, I would wait until we have lost a round. But do you want to, at this point, do you want to, I guess, get that or wait for the round to be lost, right? Would you want to take it on first and then keep on winning? Because when you lose a round, you're going to be on 11, and sure, you can call a tactical pause, and sure, you can solve the issue, but once you can already solve it a round before, why wouldn't you necessarily do that? Maybe to lose momentum, but do you want to risk losing a round just so you can get that momentum on your side? I'm not too sure. You can still keep it, you can still hold the momentum, and against AKs, that's going to be what happens, because Invictus will now have Mixage on the Eurasia. The rest will all be on various rifles to work with, and a fast push from G9 up on the B long. Split to B now, coming in.
Ooh, so many different angles to defend, but Hazuna does get one Stratus with a quick refrag. Melody, though, oh, he's able to get Stratus. That is huge. Sadak, though, has to look for those aggressive entry frags. He's the first man on the site. They have gotten half the site, but Melody is still there defending the other half, so they have to get past him to get the bomb plant. And meanwhile, Fair is sneaking up from vents as well, so they might get overwhelmed. It's going to be Yuri and Sadak with 2 kills, and now it's only Mixage left with a Eurasia. This is going to be a hard one, a tough one for him, and the cash cash is not really there. $700 to his name. Do you want to go for this mixage? I mean, if you lose the weapon, you might lose your chance to buy a weapon the next round. Looks like he is going to go for it. So, unfortunately, Sadak is just better. He's just running circles around these guys, literally. You know, he went from sandwich to mid, got a nice kill there, and so now we have G9 on 11 rounds. So Invictus, yeah, this is what it was a good point, Jesse. You know, at this point, like, the question is, do they want to lose another round? Because 11 is looking a lot more meaner than 10.
Yeah, so they called a pause, and maybe is it the reason of momentum? Is that the case? I'm not too sure. They just got shut down again by awkward team play, awkward holds. Team G9 allowed to take a B long themselves because EXE didn't have the Eurasia to go there. Mix is this time opting to go for it. Was that the smartest decision? I'm not necessarily too sure, but maybe he felt like he could do a lot with it, and of course died around the HQ area. So a lot of questions to be answered, but now we're gonna see if Baba Sodak is gonna be doing what he was what he promised you to do, Twist, and that's play aggressive over towards the A long. At least that's where G9 is looking to go, as they have 4 men lined up, Eurasia as well, and 1 player still watching off the B long position. So G9 have gotten every angle covered, and with 1 minute left on the clock, a push should come in soon, and here they come.
Yeah, there's only EXE to defend this, and as good as he played in the first half, like, if they get past him, the A site might be Team G9's, and EXE is playing slow. He might have heard some tips, but it's gonna be fair to take him down. The 2 sniper battle again. This time EXE gets caught with an M4 in his hands, so fair opens it up big time. This is a huge frag. We'll see, therefore guards intel and guards it well. Takes down Hazuna, and yeah, at this point Melody might try to get on site, but ultimately it shouldn't be too hard for Team G9 to win this one, as everyone pretty much goes down. It's only Mixage left alive, and he's gonna get found out pretty soon. It's gonna be Lucid again, a player who maybe isn't playing that well, wasn't playing that well in the first half, one of the only players that was underperforming on the side of G9. Well, now he's showing up, and once again, Jesse, I think G9 are showing us that they're just all there individually.
Yeah, they really are, and I mean, what they do very good in general is they play a very nice default setup. They are putting a lot of fear in Invictus for peeking B long. That's what you've never like seen, and because of that, they've no intel about B long themselves, so they're stacking B with more players than they probably should, as it is just a normal A push coming in, and the same happens now. 3 men towards the B side, 1 towards middle. EXE once again left alone here onto the A side. He will fall, and with that, possibly the A side. The MP7 still coming out for Melody to try and hold something off, but it looks like a done deal. Melody falls, and so does Jepa. It leaves just Mixage remaining. Invictus are probably going to be losing the map that they should have won. This was their own map pick coming in, but they've just lost their 35. What an incredible play here coming out from this team, with a scene to be elevated, of course, but it's Team G9 in this Pro League. What a beautiful play coming out, 13-5.
Yeah, I mean, so much for double digits, huh, Jesse?
So much, yeah. And once again, like, now going on to the map pick, right, from Team G9, we might even be seeing it fully get reversed, and you were actually right, so maybe we should have just listened to you in the first place.
Yes, I mean, that's possible, but again, I mean, G9, like, they surprised me a lot. Again, you know, I kind of put the expectation on them again that they're going to be the kind of team that everyone just underestimates, and then they show up, but I didn't expect them to show up like this. I mean, this is Invictus we're talking about. Sure, the lineup might have changed a little bit, but Invictus is Invictus. It means something in the community, and to win them on their own map pick, 13-5, I mean, this is very, very harsh reality that we will have to live with. But you know, we do have that second map coming up. Again, these are best of 2s in the group stage. So, you know, there definitely is a possibility that Invictus just had a fluke, just had a bad first game, you know, maybe started off on the wrong foot. You know, we have to remember that they lost a lot of rounds, you know, just starting off. They had like 5-round deficit with like 0 rounds they had gotten themselves. So, yeah, maybe sometimes, you know, have a bad start, and at that point you're like, well, we've lost. So, you know, that could be a possibility. But either way, I mean, I have to give props to G9. I think, Jesse, we can both say that, like, just individually, they were all there. They all had their moments. They had like their clutches, their triples, their even quads, you know, fair, just like, what was that, you know, clutching, and then also just jump shotting with the Eurasia, getting like doubles, triples, like, that was insane. I'm definitely looking to see more of that, but also, like, it looked like the team play is solid. So, I mean, if things stay this way, I'd say Canals is theirs, but again, this is Invictus we're talking about, so, you know, things could change. But Either way, we will have to figure it out after a short break. Then we'll have some replays, and then we will move on to the second match. So don't go anywhere, or in fact do, go to the perhaps toilet real quick, grab some extra popcorn, some chips, and we'll be right back, guys. They want to approach this retake. Finally, the bomb is being retrieved by Kissel, and I think they are going, one of the Saints players is going for a backstab. Airy that being, I like that. I like to see that. I think it can really... Oh, no, wait, hold, officer. Anoxic as well. Okay, so now it's a 2v2. Officer is trying to move in from CT, and I don't think Aries' position is even known yet, so you might even get a freebie here, which he does, gets Kissel, and now again it's all left up to Ecstasy, and Officer takes him down. Saints are looking so solid on this collision times. 3 rounds now where it looks like they're gonna lose, and they somehow shift the tides, and it just turns out in their favor. So Saints are on 11-2 away. They just need a round. They literally just need a round. But there you go. Democracy finds a first in this game. That's gonna be a 3-2. Okay, Saints, you have to win this one. You've been in this situation for like the better half of this game, where you're looking promising. It's a 2v3, everything's looking great, and then somehow, Melody, Fallen Knight, and Noxic, one of them just gets a double, and then it's over. So Saints, if you're looking to actually go to the match tomorrow, if you're looking to go to the finals, you have to win this one. But Melody, not like this. Oh, he spots once, he gets down Democracy, but Officer takes him down. Okay, now Fallen Knight left all alone. That 1v2 gets a nice flick, and it's not. No, Fallen Knight, what is that? Down as well. Melody doing the heavy lifting there, and the 3 people stacked towards B-Long just does not work out as Noxic finds Democracy. Now Delal left down to a 2v4. They're gonna try to just push B, and they still have that one final burden to cross from B-Long to side, but it should go pretty smoothly, especially with those smokes now being into play. So they are able to cross, I think, and get the plant. Looking good. I mean, this is gonna be elevate on double digits if they complete this. I mean, Fallen Knight again. Yes, those long ranges on grounded are perfect for Eurasia. Again, oh, that's just nasty. You didn't have to do that. You could have just given it to your teammate, but no. Fallen Knight just playing for content today, and well, that brings elevate up to 10.
Yeah, with
right now. Oh, you're gonna have Mafia to contend with.
Did he spot them? Okay, now he. Okay.
Ooh. Valuable information gained, but loss of life. And that rotation coming in for these players should happen quick here on the side of Flawless. Barrow, Deagle in hand. Looks phenomenal. Love that. Look at Emerald. Top right there. Bomb being planted. Misses first couple shots. He's getting careful. Tag down to 56 right now. He's about to get dropped.
His team's coming in though. Ox and Article hits it back. He's getting huge kills though for Allen. And Ox now versus Allen. 1 versus 1. Nobka actually versus Ox. Can they get this kill? Yes, Nobka will. Or Nakba will get the kill. And the defuse. Wow. Flawless win the pistol round 2.
Bomb has been defused.
Really important round here for Flawless. If you're going to make the comeback, you want to make it before they hit match point, where you give yourself just a little bit of cushion. Not making their move just yet.
As many rounds as possible, because if they lose with even more than 7 rounds, they get to pick the server.
Yep.
Like you said, and the team that's picked the server has won, or whichever server it's been on has won so far. That first matchup, and
yeah, having the ping advantage on a longer range map like Canals definitely gonna help.
Okay, Zeke.
Big moves here.
Oh, Zeke!
He gets the quad feed. Double Lord Far quad.
Okay. This might be Mayhem 5.
They're gonna have to play flawlessly for the rest of the game. Mayhem 5 having to bring out an MP7. Not a good buy here on this map. Jelly's the one who brought it out. Maybe a Deagle with some armor would have been just a better choice. Save some cash. Guess it comes down to this. Oh man, here's Mafia. No.
Whoa.
Just feasting and feasting. It's over. It is over. The mysterious stranger is won. He's coming out. He's strong. Picks up a 4th. And if he gets an ace here, I'm done. Jelly's somehow staying alive. He might get it, man. He moves down into underpass. He's looking around.
Wins.
Not gonna be able to, but it doesn't matter. He got the quad feed in. Yeah, but that means they're gonna get it on the flip.
Bomb has been planted.
Man, just a full-on 5v5 retake. You don't see this too often for pistol rounds. Each team went for a stack on one site and they chose wrong. And now Resurgent Phoenix have a full-on retake here. And it's already Eluse pushing up, trying to see if he can disengage the time he's just able to back out from the corner. Eluse he's met by the players for tunnels now. Metal's going to open up with the round here onto Eluse. Henrico has taken a bit of damage, but overall the players and Resurgent Phoenix are now Scott, the lone man on site, and everyone is in heaven and they're all smoked off right now. And we're just going to see the bomb stick going down right now. What do you do if you're Merc in this issue? And Clue with the flake. I didn't even know he was here. What is going on right now? And this guy's going for the knife. What is happening? No way he gets one. Oh my gosh. Well, and I think they heard the noise from these players on site, and now they're going to back up and rotate to A. Both players over-rotated to B, but look at this. They're already gone. Knife out to vent. I don't think Merc are going to expect them to be prepared, and they're going for the long rotation through spawn. But Resurgent Phoenix are being
that flashbang goes off, he's tagged, finds the wall bang, trying to go for the 2K, he's able to pick it up, he's got one more play that he can do, right up in front of sight, and he's not all he's going.
Any other guys that have goals now? Is he gonna have time? Is he gonna have time for this? Is he gonna do it? Oh my god! What is the name of this?
Don't you think it's time to up your game? Get to the next level with G Fuel Energy. Item selection, zero sugar, antioxidants, vitamins, character creation. Wow, looking good. Gamer words, DLC, XP, side quest. Look out, sweats. Build mode, lag, noob, squad up. G Fuel Energy. We made this commercial for you gamers.
G9 surprisingly enough starts this season off with a bang by getting the first map in a 13-5 fashion. They steal away Invictus map pick and will now go on to their own in the name, of course, of Canals. My name is still Dutchbro or Jesse, whatever you want to call me. Joins with me for today, of course, Twist. We did see that first game, of course, end quite quickly. The second one, as well as it was turning 5.
Yeah, that was a quick one. I mean, we definitely didn't expect it to be so, but I mean, fair play to G9. You know, there's not really any way how you can discredit them. They were just better in pretty much all aspects that you can have in Critical Ops. Individual skill, right? Team play, just utility usage even. Like, they were just there, you know, more consistent. They fought on. There was that little period, you know, when Invictus was making a comeback. We're like, yeah, we've seen this one before. But at the end of the day, you know, they just finished off strong. They got that second, third, and ultimately the 13th round. So, yeah, great play for them. I mean, again, this time we're going on to Canals now. So things might change just a little bit. I do think that Invictus maybe played a little bit worse than they normally do. So I think that's also something we have to take into consideration here. You know, I think on Canals, again, you know, we said double digits on both maps. I still think we're going to see double digits on Canals. But yeah, we really will have to wait and see. And I mean, for Invictus, this would be not a good way to lose some points. You know, they definitely, if they want to actually make it to the playoffs, they have to fight hard, because this time the Pro League is pretty packed. You know, even teams like Infamous or Violent GG is an excellent example for this. We kind of both talked that we put Violent GG as literally like last place finish, getting that 6th place, and now they've beaten Reign, so you know the group is even more competitive. So yeah, I do think that, you know, for Invictus this would be great for them to get at least a single point
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, I put myself Team G9 and Violent GG on the bottom, and now immediately both of the teams are actually showing off in the start of this week. So I'm getting a little bit concerned, but long term, right into the playoffs, that's where the predictions were originally for. So maybe it stabilizes, maybe it doesn't, right? Because that would be cool, having a third winner in the Pro League, like Reign, Invictus. Who will be the third one? Will it be Mullet Mafia, or will it be Violent GG or Team G9 taking an upset? It's all gonna be doable. But of course, before we are joining into the second map, we still have a little bit of a shout out to make to the partners, of course, for mobile esports of G Fuel. Can use esports mobile as a code there to get yourself a 30% off and anything on gfuel.com. And if you have no idea what you want to choose, that's what I had. I had no idea what I wanted. I chose myself, and I've actually done that. I've bought myself a starter kit on gfuel.com. There you get yourself a little bit of a shaker with a few samples you can try, and once you like one, you can once again order with the code esports mobile, because it won't be just one time, it will be multiple times that you can use it, and you can get yourself a tub of your favorite flavor potentially there. They have a lot of flavors, they have a lot of shakers, so it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, for sure. Again, there are definitely some reasons why you should check out G Fuel. I mean, for one, it's really, something that has been supporting us for a long time, and I think mobile esports, in general aren't that big, so you kind of have to, support them for reaching out to the mobile esports scene, which normally many companies don't do. But also, it has pretty much low calories, has zero sugar. You won't have that crash. It's generally a good product. Like, if you want just some energy, if you want some caffeine, but also some other good stuff, go for it. You get 30% off, whatever, streaming, playing, I don't know, just your daily activities. It's gonna help you. It's definitely gonna help you. I think it's definitely a good bang for your buck. So again, 30% off at gfuel.com using the code esports mobile. But also, we have to talk about the Critical Ops Operation Kino, as this is a new operation, and obviously with all new operations come new skins. So let's look at those. We have the Lucky Spin, obviously, and in the Lucky Spin there are some good items you can get, but also the Critical Ops Neon Eyes. Jesse, why don't you talk about this one?
Yeah, this is obviously that lucky spin that comes in, right? Operation bringing in some skins. Here is the lucky spin coming through. And once again, like, you got yourself your nice little gloves, your nice little wrench, and of course all the skins that come with it. Personally, I don't know what it is with Critical Ops and with skins, but every single time I look at these lucky spins, the grenade skins appeal to me the most. The fact that you have a nade with like a middle band in there filled with ice and being like an ice frostburn as a name, it just matches perfectly. It's just so lovely. But there's so many skins I cannot choose.
Yeah, I mean, personally, if I had to choose, I would probably go for the Glacial Claw. I think that is a pretty nice skin, but obviously, there are some other favorites that you guys might have. Just to raise your awareness about this. This is in the game, so you can definitely go and get that. But I think with that, we are pretty much done with things that we wanted to talk about. So let's actually look at the map recap. Look at what just happened, at how things have changed, perhaps. And what we can expect from Canals, because I mean, Jesse, let's be honest, like on Viru, G9 were again just simply better. Doesn't mean that Invictus were bad, it simply means that the G9 played like a top 3 team. Like, they had their strats on lockdown, they knew what they were doing. It was simply just hard for Invictus to fight back, both on the Breach and the Coalition side.
Yeah, we have always been talking about Team G9, individually speaking, experience on their side, but how does it maneuver together, right? How does it go with their team in general, with their team play? They've had this off-season. They've looked good in it as well, and now immediately it's looking like they have a new lifeline, or at least a new sort of strength in themselves brought up. Their team play is on point, like on that Breach side where we're going to spectate on a little bit later, or what we're going to be seeing. We did see that every single time they play a default, but what they do very well is that they execute or go to a certain site that is either less packed, or they execute it so well that they're pushing in together in a way where trading, or for at least Invictus, getting more than 1 or 2 kills is impossible. They were always allowing themselves to get trades or get an opening triple, whereas Invictus after that had no chance of survival. Yes, sure, you can get 1 kill if you're Melody. Sure, you can get 1 kill with whatever player of Invictus, but there was never a chance to recoup after that.
No, not really. I think G9 are doing like a very good job at just like locking things down. I think this clutch from Sadak really set things into motion, right? Like this got them the 5th, and I think just ultimately this broke Invictus' morale, right? Like, and that is one thing that I think is way more valuable than getting around here or there. If you can break the opposite team's morale, I think that means everything. Obviously, EXZ clutch is the 1v1 right after that, but still, you know, at this point, Fair shows up, and he does exactly this. 1v2 clutch with the Deagle, completely unexpected, perfect positioning from him. Again, with the Deagle as well, having the awareness that he has to stay with the Deagle because potentially 2 people are going to peek him. He had Eurasia. He could have just held this angle with Eurasia. No, he chooses the Deagle. Fair was playing out of his mind in this one. Again, we saw every time we watch Fair, it's again, like I use this a lot, but it's like a clip montage, man. It's like we see him doing quick scopes, almost no scopes, sometimes 180s. Like the man again plays like just, I don't know, like the whole world is watching. So yeah, it was interesting. And then we got Team G9 up on 8, and I mean at this point it was pretty much irrecoverable. Fair here going for almost a hit through the smoke there, but you know, doesn't clutch this one out, but still. It was just a very hard game to play. The only thing that thing that I would really highlight on the side of Invictus is that I was really surprised by EXZ's performance. Jesse, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't necessarily something we expected from him, right? We expected maybe a little bit of a higher performance coming out from him, but I think from everyone in general, from Invictus, right? Jeppa once again getting a chance to prove himself. He played with the previous iteration of this lineup, not necessarily into the playoffs himself, or into the grand finals back then, of course, from Invictus. And now, of course, not necessarily proven himself as well. I think Invictus could have had that, but to be honest, Twist, after you're 5-0 down, you take a round, you think, oh, this is our comeback potential. And then Fair comes in with a Deagle around the corner. You never expect to find a 1-on-2. I mean, I would be mentally broken as well. And I think that Invictus was that too. Sure, you get a second lifeline when you're on that coalition side picking up the first few rounds. But then once more, Team G9 is like, hey, wait, we actually have to go and press the gas pedal to go fast. And they do it again.
Yeah, again, I feel like at this point G9 are simply in Invictus' heads. Like, there's not much they can do. And again, you know, we saw EXZ in this round as well, like getting a 3-piece there. Like, it was simply just perfect plays, perfect things that you know, Invictus were trying to do, but G9 somehow still remained superior. Like G9, I'm sorry, Invictus did like most things, you know, by the book. They did it how they should have done it, but still G9, they were like, again, if you guys can't tell, I'm just really impressed with what I saw by G9 today. I did not expect them to be at this level, at least, you know, showing up for the first game. Obviously, you know, this is still, there's still things in action. You know, this is only the first game of the whole tournament, so things could change. But at the same time, I feel like once we're going into Canals now, Jesse, I think G9 might have the upper hand. You know, we kind of talked about how, yeah, it could be double digits for both teams. I still think it could be, but, you know, if I had to put my eggs in one basket, I would put it in the basket of G9.
And main reason maybe for it, like for now we can say, okay, momentum is good, G9's playstyle is good as well. Canals is one of the maps where an Eurasia is definitely a very, very good weapon to use, right? On Bureau as well, to have either a long B or a long A stack, but Canals is fully Eurasia ready. You can play basically everywhere with Eurasia and get away with it. And Fair, I mean, then you just have a Fair diff, basically. It basically is that, right? When Fair is playing as well as he was on the map of Bureau, as he was, or as he is going to do on Canals, I think that is going to be a pretty good win for G9 coming out. But I've said that before and it was totally wrong, but definitely the statistics and everything pulls towards it, because G9, I mean, trading and playing defaulting, that's what they did on Bureau, and it worked out wonderfully on every single site they played.
Yeah, again, you know, that individual performance is going to be interesting because, again, Jesse, like, Canals is one of those maps where having a good Eurasia player really can change things, and we haven't seen that like that much recently, simply because, again, you know, the lack of Eurasia is actually being viable in the meta. But interestingly enough, now we actually have two players, you know, on both teams. We have a player that is really good with the Eurasia. You know, EXZ and Fair were both like exceptional with the Eurasia on Biru. So yeah, heading on to Canals, I think we're going to see a lot of cool shots coming in with the Eurasia. I think that's one of the coolest weapons to see, just like, you know, being used to its perfection. And, you know, there's many different angles. If you just simply put a coalition player on CT, that's like somewhat watching Cafe and Upper Cat and maybe even T-Bridge, like, you can pretty much cut the whole map into two parts. Like, it's so powerful if the player wielding it is worthy enough to sort of say. So yeah, we'll have to see how can EXZ and Fair adapt to this, being a possible option.
Yeah, and so we see the first map, of course, going the way of Team G9, stealing away the map pick on Bureau. And up next, the map of Canals, where we're going to be putting our predictions on, which we have kind of already done a little bit. Just diving into it a little bit more. I mean, Bureau, as a sort of a map, if you would put it, I guess, in a some sort of a style of map, or at least some sort of a folder of a map category, you would say Bureau and Canals are probably going to be about the same. Like, okay, Canals has longer angles, it's a fully different map, but in terms of how you play it, in terms of how, I guess, old it is and at what kind of time period it comes at, both of these maps are going to be in the same map folder for it. So I definitely feel like we might see the same sort of style being applied in this map, which for now seems to favor Team G9. I'm very, very excited to see what the side from Invictus is going to do. Maybe they will get some roster changes in for the second map. We don't know, of course, but something at least has to change. And that might be getting themselves on a 0-0 start, because, I mean, if you are 5-1 down, you're immediately going to be, I guess, morale-wise down to the ground. Just basically on the bottom of a lake, laying there, don't know what to do. And now with a 0-0, maybe it's a fresh start, maybe it's a fresh new life that Invictus have.
Perhaps. I'd still like to stick with my G9 are gonna win this one kind of agenda.
Me too, but I just try to.
I see that like as one alternate universe perhaps, but I think ultimately we'll just have to wait and see again. We talked a lot of smart things, Jesse, before the first game started, and then G9 just decided to win it 13-5. So I do think it's gonna be an interesting one, but ultimately I just want to kind of get into the knife round. But again, this is just to emphasize once again, like, this is way more important for Invictus than for G9. I think G9 have started off great. Getting 1 point off of Invictus is something that we talked about, like, would be, pretty good for them. So if they can get 2, man, that is amazing start to the Pro League for them. For Invictus, though, a team that, fights normally for literally winning the whole thing, not even getting to the playoffs, that would be crazy. And one way that could happen is if they lose their first game. So again, only time will tell as we head into the knife round.
We are going to start stabbing, or at least the players on the server are going to start stabbing, and once more, the side of G9 comes out victorious, and we do see a roster change on Team G9. I spotted it out already. Crux is now playing. So that's going to be interesting. The second player, of course, for the G9 lineup that has actually played with Lecit as well when they were in Worlds last year. And that is definitely something that I'm pretty excited to see, because Team G9, their roster already looked nice. But are they now a 6 or 7 man roster that plays on various maps? Maybe Canals is the map where Crux gets his opportunity on. That would be quite incredible, something we have not seen before. And maybe Bubba Sodak, your buddy Twist, does it again with some weird sort of style to play, which actually works.
Yeah, we shall see. It seems like the pistol round is a...
Crux is in, and another player has left. It's Eurasia that isn't there anymore. So Crux and Lecit are now together. They're not separate.
That's definitely interesting. Something to pay attention to. Uriel definitely playing great, but Sadak has to do it too. Does get a headshot. He's done enough. He has defended the side at least for one player. And now Mixage, he has woken up from his slumber there. So he's going to go to the B bomb side as well. As the bomb is planted, Team G9 have to retake it. And this would be a great start for Invictus. Winning the pistol work out well. Trades, however, 3v3 underway now. Oh, and that timing for Azuna is not great, but he gets away. Fair though, gets the kill. Mixage quick on the refrag. 2v2. Time is starting to run low though. Bomb is getting tapped. Stratus waiting for that B-long peek, but one more player isn't even arrived. He's gonna go for the defuse. Melody, is there enough time? He's gonna peek again, but Stratus gets a 1v2 Ninja, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Melody, yeah, he gets that consolidation kill, but that is nothing. G9 win the pistol, and again, in a way that definitely impacts Invictus, just emotionally so and mentally so. Yeah, what a better way to open it up for G9 than this.
Wish you get a bomb plate, you get everything, and then you lose by 2 players that are still alive that are not able to watch the bomb. What incredibly sad does that have to be for the side from Invictus? They had everything, yet they have nothing now. And Melody is the only one not buying into this round. The rest of them all went for AK, so definitely some things that aren't really working out for the side from Invictus. A 1-for-1 trade surely there. Azuna has another one lined up. Lecit pushes towards A. And Team G9 playing a very aggressive style, trying to take a main control themselves, have been successful. Baba, still the final player on the side himself. 2 players have rotated over, and Lucid is pushing in from behind. Team G9 is playing a deathmatch at this point.
Yeah, first see, first shoot seems like the recipe for G9 as for now. And now Hazuna and Jeppa, they do have those AKs, so they are definitely able to do some damage as Hazuna and Jeppa get 2 headshots in a row. Suddenly, that 3v2 gets flipped on its head, and Hazuna gets another one on Lucid. So we do see 1-1. I don't think G9 expected this. Here we can see Crux is going in and Eurasia is out. Now it does surprise me a little bit that Eurasia is the one that gets traded out, because just I don't know, you know, who's doing what just in terms of looking at the kills. I feel like Lucid was the one kind of underperforming on the side of G9. Eurasia was like, you know, he was getting his doubles, his triples there, but again, you know, I'm not gonna make those type of decisions here, just simply stating some facts. Well, either way, G9, they have decided that the A bomb site stack is the best option, and they're also going to push out. Oh, and they might get punished for it somehow, though. 2 kills go the direction, but some trades coming in as well. Now it's only Fair left alive. He has a lot to do, gets spotted as well. Now they know that he's only on a pistol at this point. He's playing a hide and seek game. If he can get even a single kill here, if he can even retrieve a weapon, I think that would be good for him. But they're definitely looking for him getting sandwiched as well. And yeah, he just won't be ready for this one. Boom. A bullet. Wait, what?
Bomb has been planted.
Wait, he's trying to knife him?
Yeah, okay. I was confused, man. I was waiting to say, you know, a bullet in the back of his head, like right as the kill would go down. Then I was like, well, wait, hold on, right? And then I was like, oh yeah, well, the knife kill, fair enough. I mean, that's when it started out. Again, this 1v2 Ninja Defuse, definitely good on Stratus for doing it. But for now, Invictus seems like they have recovered rather quickly, which is something we did not see in the first game.
Team G9 maybe in that second round playing a little bit over aggressive, right, with them having limited weapons to play against, really. Rather play a little bit safe, you will win the round eventually, and now you're actually getting caught when the rifles are really there. Crux still trying to add another one to the tally, looking in for a double. Was a replacement now of Eurasia to prove himself potentially, and maybe not necessarily because of the strats or the stats, right, that he got left out, maybe just in general, feeling more comfortable on this map. But now also falling to XC, and Mixage, who he runs around, goes towards the T-spawn, now slowly starting to arrive, takes down Bobo, and now knows where the second person is, but Stratus around the corner, could line up a double, while running out of bullets with his knife out. Mixage around the corner, swings in, but Stratus, he holds on to find a double, a 1-on-2 out of nowhere, and Team G9 is back on the board with a second.
Yeah, they almost fumbled that one. I mean, Invictus, they were, what was it, like a 2v4, and then suddenly it's like, wait, hold on, a 1v2, how do they manage this? But no. They have everything under the control, seems like. So heading into our 5th round here, you know, will be interesting to see what is really possible for the side of G9, as haven't really done, you know, they haven't done bad, but at the same time, we feel like, you know, they maybe fumbled some rounds a little bit, you know, one of those, that second round for sure. But this one shouldn't be the same, as there's only deals on the side of Invictus and some damage being dealt to EXZ already. Oh, Mixage, that's a crisp shot, but Crux, that's a crispy triple as well. Hazuna does get refrag, and he's going to get the bomb plant. So I think that's the best outcome for Nico, right? Like, if you can just get the bomb down, like, you get some cash. That's the most that you can ask for in most situations. Hazuna still alive though, fully flashed though, and Sadak, yeah, he's not going to let him stay alive for long. Goes down, and so we have G9 taking the lead once again.
Yeah, and how much does this mean for a team as Invictus? Sure, you take 2 rounds, sure, you seem to be back, and then once again you lose a 1-on-2 out of nowhere. This is going to be rough. Second time this has actually happened. Last time, of course, it was not even getting the player down. He just ninja defused under your eyes, and now, obviously with Stratus finding a 1-on-2 out of nowhere. Team G9 seems to be back, but a full buy for Invictus coming in as well. And what can they do? I think they need that A main control. It's usually been taken by the side of Team G9, so when they can avoid Crux or the set to get opening frags around the corner, I think that would really help. But they're once again stacking B and the A side together, and they're definitely a duo. We know Mixage! A falling headshot, bye-bye, Fair.
Ooh, Lucid. Maybe looking to be a little bit more aggressive there. Doesn't push up, but it's going to be Sadak to do just that. 4v4 situation underway. But Invictus, they are slowing down their approaches. They're slowly, again, you know, Canals is a map that map control is just matters so much, right? So you don't exactly have to always push. You can simply just, like, slowly, like as an octopus, just slowly put your tentacles all over the map and kind of take that map control. Sadak, though, he's so aggressive again, man, is just pushing everything, and this time doesn't work out. Melody punishes the refrag that comes in for Sadak as well, and now it's only going to be Lucid left in a 1v4, and I don't think he's going to look to his left. Ooh, that was a quick flick. I mean, he didn't hit anything, but still, that was impressive. Gets one, and he knows where EXZ is, and he knows that he has a Eurasia. I mean, at this point, I'm not a believer just yet, especially with the bomb being planted and him on the other side of the map, but I mean, yeah, you could go for a kill at least.
Yeah, let's just try. Let's just see what he does. He's running around, now being spotted one more time. Still damage to be initiated. But now the time is not on his side anymore. He has to run with his knife out and kill 3 to win the round, or just win a ninja defuse once more. But now pulls the plug, runs down towards that breach spawn again. And so, a third round picked up by the side from Invictus. And how does this once again work? They've taken an A main control, and I feel like Team G9 is just a little bit too aggressive. They think that they can allow everything to happen. And okay, Bubba Sadak, you want to play more aggressive, but you do that on the breach side, please. Because right now, on that coalition side, it's getting backfired a little because Team Invictus is knowing that you're doing this at this point, and they're just taking advantage of you, pushing everything every time, and being, in that sense, instead of being unpredictable by pushing, being predictable because you push every round.
I could not have said it better. It's like pushing is kind of like a one-trick pony thing, right? Like it works, but you kind of have to space those pushes out. You kind of almost have to push, then don't do it for a couple of rounds to make them think that, you know, you've changed your ways, and then do it again. But yeah, if you do it every round, I mean, it's gonna be hard. Sadak, though, he's gonna go for it again until he gets punished again. I think it's about time he figures out that might not be the best strategy. What is this? Okay, Lucid. Well, that's a freebie if I've ever seen one. Let's see if he can actually get a bit of a harder kill here, as 3 players are making their way towards B. It is somewhat left empty, with only Fair being the sole defender of it. Now, he is making his way there, and he gets spotted by EXZ as well. Again, the battle of the 2 Eurasias that we had in the first map is underway once again. 2v2 situation. They are gonna try to eliminate Lucid, but I like how help is arriving from the side of Fair. Oh, he's gonna go all the way down. That is smart. They saw him last time on CT. They're never gonna expect him towards Belong. I don't think so. The question is, can he be quick enough? He's gonna push up. They're not looking towards his direction, but also the timing is just not there. And they're gonna peek Belong. Hazuna gets a nice kill, and another one just flicks 90 degrees. Too easy for him, and puts Invictus on 4.
Azuna just needed a map to wake up. Loved by the community. We saw some people actually saying, oh, Azuna playing. That's when we are going to be tuning in. He definitely got some fans around, and now proven that he can still be playing quite well. Of course, last time he played a pro match was at Season 1 of the Intermediate. So some time, of course, went by since then. But now 10-4, doing very, very well. Sadok forcing this round. It's a little bit odd in my eyes. But maybe a misbuy coming out from him. He's at least trying to find an opener with it, and maybe scatter a weapon here and there. But B-side is taken over, so a 5-on-5 retake.
Yeah, but that retake with the Eagles, it's not looking too good. You have to connect headshots. You have to like push with the Deagle and connect headshots. That's even harder to do. And so Azuna taking down Stratos. This might be the beginning of the end for this round. Sadak, though, what is that? Fair gets another one with XD45. 2v3, that's still possible. But suddenly Mixage, Jeppa, and Hazuna just take control, and they establish their 5th round. So this is an interesting one, man. I did not expect Invictus to just show up in such a big way in the first couple of rounds here, right? Like, after what we saw in Bureau, it was like, yeah, well, could be a walk in the park for G9, might go double digits, but at the end of the day, like, this is just different. And I wouldn't even say that G9 are playing bad. I would simply say that we're seeing completely different Invictus than what we saw in Bureau, Jesse.
Yeah, I think G9 isn't allowed to do what they were doing in the first map, of course, and now still trying to abuse those pushes to come in. Very aggressive plays, of course. Turks and Lucid, a Turkish duo, of course. Turkish players in general known to be a little bit aggressive, have that temperament, which works out most of the time, as they are just incredibly well at aiming. And now even securing a first 2 kills to start things off. Hazuna once again taking double himself. But I would have to say, like, what we saw in Bureau was a very good and strategical play for G9 on that breach side, so I definitely don't feel like they are completely out of it just yet, but they will definitely have to work a little bit harder for it, but because it looks like Invictus is going to have a 6-1 lined up.
Oh yeah, 2v3, Eurasia on fair, like 3 taken with you. Oh, hold on. As soon as you doubt him, he pulls that out of his back pocket. Now he's gonna keep pushing up. EXZ's angle is so hard to clear. He's not gonna check that. He does take him down, but still, again, I mean, fair, like I don't know how he does it. Like I've almost never seen fair hit a hard scope. I've never seen him just hold an angle, somebody peeks slowly, and he gets the kill, which is like 80% of the time what you see in like pro tier plays with the Eurasia, simply because that is the meta and that's what works. Every time you spectate fair, you see him just doing some nasty thing that I wouldn't even attempt in a team deathmatch. Like, that man is crazy. So yeah, this time, I mean, he doesn't get the clutch, but still, that's a clip for the books. Now we're heading into the 10th round of play here, and I think at this point G9 really have to start worrying about how they're exactly going to make this comeback, because only 3 more rounds to go down. And Crux is left over. Okay, that's a headshot. Apparently Mixage does get a refrag there without, but does take some damage as well. But Stratus once again pushing up, so it seems like they're still going for the very aggressive gameplay. And I mean, sometimes it does work, even if you expect it. Sometimes you just get overwhelmed, you know, pushing from 2 different directions. Not much that you can do to eliminate both players.
And Jepa, of course, the most unluckiest man in the world, I guess, or we can call him right now, because he's died like 3 times in this game by timing. Fair will also fall. And yeah, sure, you don't hard scope. EXZ will do so, and he will take both kills with it. Stratus and Babasodak are the 2 plays remaining. Babasodak will get challenged from the long side, and Melody will now be known. So Stratus is aware, making a lot of noise. Swings around, dodging the nade to be thrown in, and now Babasodak has to move in. Melody will fall. Are they going to be aware of the 2 men still on the side? Hazuna adds another one to the tally. EXZ now swings, tries to find the contact of Stratus. He's out of bullets. Runs back in, but the time is definitely ticking. And Invictus can just wait for the tap to come in. They should be around all day long for them.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's a 1v2. Stratus has to get that defuse in. Does tap it, doesn't draw some attention to him, but ultimately, I think he understands there is simply no time. And even though this doesn't look like the best choice, it definitely is if you just look at the strats. But yeah, that's interesting. He actually draws in EXZ and Azuna, so there's some money. I don't know, they probably wanted to get the kill. Look at this. Hold on. EXZ, what? Like, okay. I mean,
how do you read that? How do you read that, bro?
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's an interesting one.
G9 calling a tactical pass. We definitely know why, because they lose B side very often. They fight for A quite often, which doesn't really give them too much, and have to find a recipe against an EXE. And when he has an Eurasia going on that coalition side, how much is he going to be able to bring? Maybe he's even going to get it this time. Yes, he will. Absolutely amazing to see him play with that weapon that often. And now Team G9 maybe coming in with a new plan. At least avoid EXE, or for Fair to take him down and pick the Eurasia up into the next round. He's going to have a Scar to use. Both teams playing very good POW of Critical Ops. And once we are going towards that second half, as I said, I feel like G9 do have another chance to show themselves off, because they are going to be the team that is able then to divide the pace and potentially play that aggressive style that is going to be used to their advantage. But I'm honestly not too sure. Things are just looking incredible now for Invictus. They have just been, like, I guess top to bottom completely. Like, it's... Last game was, like, bottom of the lake. This time it's, like, on the tallest building in the world.
Yeah, I don't know what's really happening here. It's just like Invictus. It's a completely different team. Like, nobody could have predicted this. G9, yeah, again, like, they're not playing their worst. They're definitely playing maybe a bit worse than what we saw on Biru. But Invictus, they have done a complete 180. All of these players were underperforming except for EXZ, and now all of them are showing up. You know, again, all of them have their rounds. So at this point, we're seeing a complete reversal of what we saw on Biru. I think on Biru, we actually saw, what, an 8-3, a 9-3 half, I believe it was, right?
Yeah, it was I think 9-3. Yeah, so we're potentially going to be able to see the same. And to be honest, like, this is definitely a legacy between these two teams, right? Getting a lot of one-on-ones against each other, so to be expected. But why are you picking Canals now into a team of Invictus? Yeah, it was a map. Like, okay, we don't know what they're going to be able to do on the other map, but you know what they're going to be doing on a map like Canals, and that's frag out big time. They're showing off Hazuna back in the server, back in the play, and once again, a beautiful kill lined up as he pushed into Cafe to take control.
Oh yeah, I mean at this point G9 just have to struggle for even a single round here. Now this could be one of their better chances. The 2v3 is underway. That nade is gonna eat some damages away as well. But Lucy, he has to make it big, has to get a frag. Hazuna quick on a refrag. The defuse is coming in and he is able to get it. So at least they are saving their face. At least they're getting that 4th round. Obviously, I mean, Canals is pretty equally sided, maybe a bit more collision sided. So getting only 4 on collision is, well, not good, let's just say that. But it's still way better than, I believe, than 3-9. And honestly, like, if they win the pistol, right, like, normally they're going to win the next one as well. Then we might be looking at 8-6. Like, I don't think G9 are out of this just yet. But Invictus are definitely showing us that they want them out of this.
And Bubba Sodak said, I'm gonna play aggressive. So let's show us, right? Let's show us how aggressive you can play. With a fast A play, that's definitely aggression I'd like to see. First fights, of course, being taken around the corner. We'll play his fights in, fair with a double. Trades are coming back and forth, and the coalition side is holding on. So sure, you can play aggressive, sure you can take the A side, but you still need to find the kills. Bubba Sodak opting to go for that. Now leaves the A side. Actually gonna go B. He's gonna get a plant if they don't try and hunt him, but there will be a hunt coming in. Mixage still aware, and this man is on another level right now. He really is the player to watch out for Invictus. 16 kills, and this is a side hold of a lifetime for Invictus, and really one they needed.
Oh yeah, I mean at this point, it could actually be over, right? Like this was such an important pistol round for G9 to get. This one would have gotten them back in the game. Just like, if you win a pistol, you normally win the next one as well, right? Like 90% of the time. And just listen, just think about the difference. 6-8 or 10-4, right? And it seems like Invictus are gonna make the second choice. As Jepa gets a triple, G9, they're not gonna find any advancements towards A. No, they're running away. But it's gonna be Mixage to deny even that dream. So it's only Fair left live, and they know exactly where he is. Mixage gets a double, Fair gets a Jepa gets a triple, and this is Invictus on double digits on round 15. This is pretty insane to think about. 3 more rounds separating them from getting that single point that they desperately need. I wouldn't say desperately, just a point that, you know, was kind of expected for them to get out of this matchup. But yeah, G9, I mean, if they get this rifle, there might still be a chance. If they don't, they have to go Primo-Chico next one, and at that point this is over. So this is a do or die moment for Team G9. Let's see how they approach it. Seems like with that dribble from Krax, that's how they approach it. All right, now it's only Mixage left alive. Just things swaying both directions as hard as they could.
And Mixage there throws a nade, right, towards the A main. So you would say, okay, that's good. Why not throw a flash to help your team support by pushing? They all 3 pushed into A, and I don't think a single piece of util was used to do so. So, yeah, sure, you're giving G9 free fights, and that's exactly what Invictus kind of had on Bureau as well. Like, those plays can happen. Those plays can be made easier. With a Mixage, for example, having a piece of util thrown in just to support. You have the util, why not use it to your advantage? But still, a flawless round now coming in for the side from Team G9. We don't have to disallow the fun that is currently starting to unfold for them, because they are a team that is still playing incredible, with Crux, of course, getting a triple in the last round, and now have a full buy plus a little bit of economy to help themselves build an economy, which they're desperately going to need once they concede a few rounds on the T side.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, G9, they have all that they could wish for, right? Like, they have all the rifles, they have all the utility. Oh, well, Crux doesn't have any more. Somehow Melody has made that one work, Jesse. How? Like, what? I guess he caught him off guard, but still, like, just getting an XD45 pushing frag on long range. All right.
Yeah, I mean, he's just on another level, really. It shows it time and time again how well these players sometimes are indeed performing. So much experience in them, and Fair, him as well. Now with the Eurasia getting taken up for Melody. Another one added up on the tally, and might even go for a third. Melody, what are you doing? He does damage on the C2, and this one is still doable, Twist.
Oh, it definitely is a 2v2 situation underway. IXZ and Mixage only on the Eagles, but look at this. They're kind of crunching them. And if Mixage gets this info, he might hear them. Oh, this is a freebie. If he sees him, no, the timing, I think he gets spotted, and Mixage gets a frag. This is big. EXZ has retrieved an SG as well. So, with the bomb down, only 40 seconds on the clock, this is going to be hard for Sadak. Literally the worst place to lose the bomb. There's like 10 different angles you have to check. And with 2 players live, you can't check all of them at the same time. But for some reason, Mixage he just keeps peeking there. He wants the frag, and well, he doesn't get it. He gets eliminated. 25 seconds on the clock. The thing is, Sadak, he has to move so quickly here. Has to go for the bomb and has to plant it. That is literally just like speed running it. Spots a player, throws a nice smoke there, and oh, that's actually a great play from Sadak. He's able to pick up the bomb. But now, no time pretty much on the clock. Nate coming in. Will he go for the 1v1? No, he goes for the plant. How did they let this one happen? The plant comes in. EXZ arriving as quickly as he could. Arriving at the scene. Does he know the side? Another smoke comes in. Sadak doing everything in his power to make this one work. Will he look the correct direction? He does, and he clutches it again. Sadak, the man, the legend, the myth. 1v1 clutches are his specialty, and he keeps G9 in the game for another round. And this time Invictus, yeah, their economy might not look the best. If they lose another round, we might be looking at 8 to 10. This is how G9, how determined they are to stay in the game, Jesse.
Yeah, and sure, Invictus, right? 2v1, they could have played a little bit better. Isolated fights given to Baba Sadak, but we're just watching Seops when he is playing just chess. He's playing out of his mind with the amount of thought process that goes into the one-on-one like that. So in a one-on-two, like trying to pick them off one by one, trying to grab that bomb and still thinking about 100 million solutions as to how to win that round. Still, in this round, it might not even matter. It's once again Babasonic that might have to step up a little, as it's already a 3v5. And yeah, sure, Team G9 takes some more cash in their back pockets, but they might still lose the round, and with that potentially lose the game. Good shot from Stratus, even looking for a second on Mixage, but he's almost out of bullets, so he has to be a little bit careful, because there's still 3 plays to deal with, but they might not go towards B, so he's gonna be safe. Or are they?
Oh, Stratus, what is that? He gets some of the cheeky double there. Don't exactly know how he did it, but I mean, he did it, and that's all that matters. 2v2 though. Oh, and the shot is missed by EXZ. That's something you don't see a lot, but it's definitely of very high value in these situations. EXZ missing a shot could prove Invictus having to go eco next round. It's only Jeppa now. He does spot a flash, does try to shoot, but yeah, that's just outplayed coming in from Crocs, and that's G9 on 7. And now look at the cash on the side of Invictus. They probably want to go eco, so somehow G9 have gotten 4 rounds almost guaranteed 4 rounds, and this clutch is just beautiful from Sadak. Beautiful positioning, takes the right position, throws that smoke as well, just uses all of his utility to perfection and gets G9 a bit closer to the comeback here.
And Crooks as well in a position, right? You can stand around the corner. Okay, they might not expect him to be there, as we might have to talk that thing out a little bit later, as there's a push towards the main side coming in. Stratus and Crooks trying to hold on, and Crooks is good for a few kills. Everyone will be falling down. Team G9 cleaning up, cleaning house, as 8 is on the telly. What I was talking about there for Crooks, of course, he was on that coalition spawn around the corner. You potentially expect him to be there, right? So in that sense, the coalition player of Jeppa is going to run in, have Peeker's advantage on in. So Crooks throws a flash, which is gonna make his position known, but either the turnaround comes in for Jeppa, he won't be able to shoot, or he's fully blinded and shooting while he's blind. So Crooks played that very well, and now we'll have to see if another round has been played very well, because once again an entry has been given away from the side of Invictus.
Yeah, this could put a stop to this G9 4-round onslaught, but Crocs, he's not looking to stop that dream just yet. He gets a kill on Sadak, another crucial one. EXZ, this time he's not gonna miss with the Eurasia though. 2v3 situation, and Fair and Crocs are alive. Fair, he was showing up such big time on the first map. This one hasn't really been that loud. Only 9 kills on his score. So yeah, if he could just help them clutch this round, I mean, that could be huge. That could be a great way for him to redeem himself in this one. But the bomb, they're a bit hesitant. They know that players are close. Even with that smoke, they're kind of paranoid that some pushes might come in, but the utility comes in as well, and now they're going to go for the plan. But the smoke dissipates. Oh, and Fair, he has to hit the shot. He has to hit it. But he's fully flashed. Yeah, retreating there is the best option.
Okay, Crux and Fair, what are you going to be able to do? Of course, you're not in an advantageous position, but you still have yourself that bomb, of course, getting planted. You have a post, but anyway, the Crux will take them all. He takes no prisoners. The Turkey superstar steps up once more, and you sure want him in your team if he frags like this.
Crux, like, fair wasn't even needed, you know? Crux was like, fair, I get it, bro. You carried this first game like you're having a bad game. Let me just handle this. And he gets an insane 1v3, putting G9 on a 5-round hot streak here. And also, just starting to make Invictus doubt themselves, right? Like, they were up so good on the breach side, and then they head on collision and they win the pistol rounds. Like, perfect, life is amazing. But then, you know, things start to stutter a little bit, and Crux again, the man just doesn't stop. 4 kills in a matter of a couple of what, 1 minute here. So, you know, he's definitely looking for a bit more. But again, seems like G9, they don't want to over aggress like they actually do on the collision side. It's like they've kind of you know, just flipped on its head both sides. On collision, they push like it's breach. On breach, they play the slow approach. They leave the bomb at spawn, you know, leave a minute on the clock without any executions just yet. It's smart, it's interesting. It definitely switches things up. Definitely might bamboozle Invictus' players a little bit, but seems like whichever direction they go, there's going to be 2 on either side.
A push comes in. First kill gets found by Melody. Jeppa still holding on. Looks in for a double, but won't be able to find it. Fair left standing alone. And yeah, 2 players also pushing in from long. 2 from that banana side, of course. So that's always going to be rough. And in that sense, of course, when Invictus is able to find a double, you're completely falling down. You're not able to trade. And Azuna will peel out the final blow. And I'm totally agreeing with you on that one, Twist, because Team G9, as we do see that clutch one more time, let's just amaze ourselves on the headshot of Melody as well. He didn't really even try to aim on him, but through the smoke finding it. But what I was talking about, Team Invictus are playing very well now on their coalition side, sure, but Team D9, they have found this breach side to be very, very easy because they are, as you said, playing a very nice and cool passive setup which works out massively.
Oh, and a knife kill as well. All right, G9, that is one way to rebound back into the game. 2v4 situation now, and I don't think there's any chance for Invictus to make this one. Only Azuna and Mixage, he's not aware. On the left there's a cheeky spot there from Stratus. Gets a kill on Mixage's head, so now it's only Azuna. He's gonna get peeked. He will get the frag, but there is no way G9 are giving it away at this point. If anything, he could hope for some exit frags, but I don't think anything more than that is possible. So we're looking at double digits, Jesse. I kind of want to give myself a pat on the back, and you know, you as well do that, because you know, we finally something that we predicted turns out true. You know, double digits this for both teams as we head in to a very heated end of this second game of the best of 2.
Yeah, let's get it to round 25, right? It would be lovely, and I really like this round as well because what it just is. Okay, so to get a little bit of the voice comes from Team G9. Okay, I think Stratus asked to Baba Sodak, what do we do this round? Maybe plus W into A. Stratus says yes, and he pushes in and gets a triple with plus W and getting a knife kill with it as well. Everything just works out wonderfully. Team G9, I mean, just plus W into a site, you might actually just win it. And playing slow, and it works as well. So they have a lot of options, and that's very great and very promising for this G9's lineup for the future.
Oh, for sure. Like, Gina is looking great, and the fact that they can keep themselves in the game for so long when it literally looked like it was over, it just means that they have that kind of warrior spirit. They have that fighting spirit to just keep on going no matter what. And this time they have done it once again. Bomb has been planted 3v4 this time though, so it's gonna be a bit harder. Oh, Crux again in his favorite spot. Last time it was a triple. This time there's a chance for a quad. Now that might be a bit hard as he takes down Lucy, but it's gonna be Crux to get one pushing up, gets almost the second one. Melody taken down. Now it's only fair left live, and this time he's not able to connect the shots. No Eurasia in his hand. Seems like no kills in his kill feed as well. So we're gonna have Invictus on 12 rounds. Gonna be an interesting one. G9, they did have that 5-round hot streak. Now they have to get only 3. I mean, this is a bit easier, but still 3 rounds in a row, not the easiest thing to do.
And this post plant, I wouldn't say really approached well, right? We gotta be taking a look at how that one went down, right? A push into the B side, you take the bomb plant, but then you have 3 players surviving, and what they did is they played very alone. They had one guy watching, as Crux, I think, watching middle, got taken down from the mid side. Or no, Crux was on the side, of course. I think the set was in middle, playing very isolated, playing very alone, getting taken down from behind. Fair playing on long on that banana side, and then Crux on his favorite position. position where he got a 4K. Sure, Crux pushes in and gets 1 kill, but instantly gets traded. In a post plant, you need to play together because the side executions are great from G9. But then in those post plants, you cannot count on a Crux to make a triple every single round. Maybe you want to count on him for getting a triple every single round, but it's just not realistic because Invictus played that well together. They peeked in with a triple man and just took Crux down and then found all the final pieces together. Invictus have it lined up very well in the post plans. They get themselves the retake, and so they're on match point right now.
Yeah, G9, they have to just pull off another 3-round streak. I think it's possible. Honestly, I think it is. They do have some AKs. Maybe, you know, they would have wanted SGs, but ultimately, I think, you know, it doesn't matter that much. At the end of the day, we have some good aimers. We have some good strats. Like, the weapons don't matter that much in the SG versus AK debate. What matters, though, is that this 8 push works. Last time, Jeppa just shut everyone down together with Melody, but this time it seems like it's going to be different. Mixage first one to go down. Now, rotations are coming in, but they're aware of this. Either way, Hazuna gets one. What is happening here? Jeppa, he's not aware. Sada gets one. 3 for 3. Stratus for another one. Oh, this is close. 2v2. Bomb is dropped towards elbow, though. They have to retrieve it, and while they're waiting, while they're trying to just hold down the side, slowly Hazuna is approaching. Now, he doesn't exactly want to peek it. He definitely wants to wait for the plant, but EXZ, if he keeps pushing elbow, he might secure the bomb. Oh, this is big for Invictus. They get the info. They don't have to do much from this point on. Simply hold an angle, wait for them. I don't think G9 are aware what's happening. Stratus gets Hazuna, though, so now it's only EXZ. The man who did great on Buru has to redeem himself once again, getting sandwiched any second here, and it's gonna be Sadak to take him down and take us to round 24. This is still going on. This could be 12-12 down to the last wire.
And do you want to buy in this round? Yeah, sure you want, but what is it gonna leave you in round 25? Realistically speaking, you might have to kind of prepare for that. You cannot fully give it away, of course. I think they get like $2,000 next round. So that will be maybe an SMG, maybe a pistol, all deagles pulled out. You need to win this round if you're Invictus. And they will not be approaching it in any other way. Just EXE that has to step up with Eurasia. Will it be round 25? Or is Invictus gonna clean it up and clean house? Team G9 spreading around the map very, very well and immediately taking cafe control. This is more than they could have originally wished for. And do we see a shotgun now? Okay, that's interesting.
He just wants to, you know, he wants to take an extra big kill, you know, make someone extra mad. That is definitely interesting. But I mean, it can work, right? Like in cafe in close range, like this could work better than a rifle. One shot, and the opponent is then with a rifle. If you don't get a headshot, you know, you kind of have to get more than one shot. So I could see it. I could see the potential. I could see the vision. But Melody could also see Stratus behind those boxes. So he takes him down, and now it's gonna get a bit harder. Lucy there throws a nice nade, but Hazuna, he knows how to play it. He retreats back. Oh, he misses the shot with a shotty, and then the second one as well. Fair though, coming in, he was needed all throughout the game. He didn't deliver, but this is his final chance to do just that. So he's gonna take one player down now, a bit slower. Hazuna goes down from Sadak as well. Crux with another one, again flipping things on its head. Plan comes in, but Mixage, he's aware. He goes for the shot. It's gonna be fair with the flick, and now Jeppa left in a 1v2, arriving from that B-long area. Bomb planted, 30 seconds on the clock.
He's talking about Turkey superstars. This Finnish hero will have to do it as well. Obviously, out of the server for quite some time. Did not get the chance to be in that Pro League final, but always here to play. And now gonna try to prove himself right one more time. Steps are being made. Of course, they know they can double peek, and Fair will take him down. He is with the Eurasia, the first one to peek. That's not something you expect that often, but Fair does it all. And we are going full distance, round 25, to decide if this will be a tied up game, or if G9 can actually still take the win and surprise every single one of the people watching right now.
This is an insane ending to a best of 2. Both teams staying in the game for so long. Invictus fighting to come back, but also G9 just on a tear right now on the breach.
And we will have to see the breach side, where it all comes down to. Round 25. Who's set? The one in the cafe. Slow but surely as Zuma starts walking in. Oh, who has the longest breath? It looks like Lassit will, but Crux will fall, so that's an entry taken. And Azuma will get out there alive, finding a double. That's a good start of the round. 25 kills to his name. Jeppa from the elbow and spotted out a shoulder. Everything might fall down, and you fought for it so hard, TG9, but it might still be all falling apart in the final nick of time. Flash towards alongside a 3-man A stack. That's exactly where G9 is heading, and Victus have read this one perfectly. Still staff been made to fall back, so potentially still rotation to be called. Jeppa on the edge of the smoke can drop the bomb in just a second. Vavo, of course, around the corner, still grabbing a frag, looking in for another. But the smoke will make him fade. Fair. Watch a short side still, making waves. As he will be able to drop Melody, looking in for another. Eurasia has been an aggressive weapon for him to use, but now falls to Mixage, and XE will take the final piece. Invictus, by the skin of their teeth, are able to find it, and they will claim themselves victorious on this final round, which means we will have a tied up game, and they're still gonna be happy for a bit, but Invictus had to fight for every single inch, for every single piece of this canal and of this best of two. But sure, it is 1-1. Sure, they will be the ones to claim it. But phew, we didn't expect this. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy.
I mean, again, we kind of waited for G9 to really take it home, right? Like, we kind of waited for them to make that comeback, but unfortunately just falling a little bit too short at the end there. Just at the end of the game, when really, like, you made the comeback, you made such a 5-round streak and almost a 3-round, but just at the last second, it doesn't go their way, and that's very unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. But also, what is the scoreboard. Look at the standings, Jesse. So 4 teams will advance, and right now it seems like Rain and Infamous will go out. Obviously, this is literally after the first match day, so things will change quite a lot. Currently, we have Violent GG at the top there. They played off stream against Rain, where they actually won them 2-0. We also have Mullet Mafia, who, well, today it was one of the easier games for them to win, as Infamous didn't connect for the first game, and then for the second one, they didn't have like that 5th player as well. So unfortunately for them, they got disqualified in both games, receiving minus 26 round balance, which is pretty horrible. Also, we have G9 and Invictus, you know, getting a point each. I think this was a great matchup. You know, they definitely both deserved it. Just the way how, you know, we saw G9 dominate on Biru, but then what Invictus were able to do to make that comeback and ultimately win out on Canals, I definitely do think both teams do deserve that point. But G9 actually have a better round balance, as they were the ones really dominating on Biru, as Canals was just way more, literally plus minus 1 round.
Yeah, and for Infamous as well, like, it's unfortunate, of course, for them losing, but mainly as well by the fact that they are the Asian team, right? So mainly what they do is they find themselves a lot of ties. They were a team last season as well. I think they got the most ties out of every single team in there. They're usually having to win their own server and then win on a server where there's like 300, 400 pings. So this minus 26 loss bonus is gonna matter even more for them, and that's just so unfortunate as to why they've obviously lost that much round balance themselves in the starting piece of today. But that is, Twist, gonna wrap up everything for today, isn't it?
Yeah, I do think so. Just like a quick recap, right? I think we already mentioned it, but Mullet Mafia winning out Infamous 2-0, and then we just saw that Invictus game, so that was also interesting. I mean, we definitely didn't expect G9 to play the way that they did, but some exciting, at least, you know, the second best of 2 was very exciting for me. Definitely interesting. Also, if you want to see more of it, I mean, next Saturday is some more Critical Ops Pro League action. On Saturday, we will have, as always, the North American side of things, and on Sunday, you know, we will be back with Jesse, and we will talk about the European and cast the European side of things. We will also have, once we, you know, go off camera, we'll have all the time, so if you want to know the exact times, just wait a little bit, and you know, they will be on stream. But I think with that, as you said, Jesse, we can conclude. Obviously, huge thanks to everyone who watched, to everyone who commented, participated, whatever. If you were involved in this in any sense of way, I don't know, you played, you watched, you know, even the guys in the production that literally helped make this happen, you know, we're literally just like shouting, you know, we're not the ones running the stream. Thanks to everyone. Hopefully everyone had a good time, and we will catch you guys later. The exact times coming up any second. I was Twist, and with me was Jesse. Pleasure casting with you, man.